thing with something today to talk to you and influence you about blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's how most internet podcasts start nowadays, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm telling you.
Hey guys! Oh my god, me and my niece totally imitate it all the time. It's hilarious.
My goodness! Oh my daughter's got me on this TikTok thing.
Yeah, what is that?
It's
I've
like
seen so much about it,
it's
but I don't
basically
know.
like I want to say it's like Snapchat combined with YouTube, kind of thing. Like you put up these different like you put up these different videos and like you can put a song to the background of it, and yeah, like I actually have all of my songs that are available on all streaming platforms on TikTok as well. You like how I did that right there? Check out the block on all streaming platforms. This is Candid Conversations. How you doing?
Unshameful plug.
Unshameful.
Unshameful plug.
Like I learned it from Diddy. It's like if you're gonna promote anybody, you got to start with yourself.
That's so true.
It's just the way it's got to be. This episode has been brought to you by, I'm gonna say, Fight for Kyle, where I won this Bud Light. It's true. It's damn true. I had to hold a case of water like this for I held it for 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Was this like at a Stag and Do?
No, it was at it was like a concert for a benefit concert.
Oh, okay.
For a child who was lost to cancer.
Oh.
For a family whose child was lost to cancer. So, yeah, and I was just like, okay, like if I'm gonna spend money, I might as well spend it on a good cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I like to I guess I like to spend money, now that I think about it. But, I like to make sure I get a return on the investment, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to give someone something, I want to make sure that, you know what I mean, I'm going to get something back from it. And it sounds bad, but that's how business works. I'm sorry.
It is an exchange. And it sometimes isn't always monetary, right? It could just be something that fulfills you.
Exactly. What up, Stott? What up, Jones? I got to turn off I gotta turn off my notifications before Stott tells me to do that. Yep, there we go. There we go, and bam. Alright, cool. We just have another guest in the room. Enter.
What's good?
Swing. That chair is positioned in the general area of where you can be seen.
Huh?
That chair right there is positioned in the general area of where you can be seen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Alright, so, we're here right now talking about whatever comes to mind. Feel free to throw us topic conversations if you want to get our input on that. I'm going to send you this microphone.
Alright.
Still.
Whee! I got a chair that rolls.
Hey.
Y'all got a chair that rolls?
I do.
I do. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, all the chairs are rolling. What?
Yo, this is so I'm going to chill when I'm 90. I'm going to chill on my shit like this.
Oh, man, that's great.
Speaking of which, I actually saw Fred Durst.
Yeah?
He's on a DJ on a new show on Adult Swim. I forgot what it's called. It's like Triggered for Millennials.
Okay.
And I forgot what his name is. It's like DJ Durst or something.
Okay.
I literally just saw that last night. I kind of laughed because I was like, what happened to you after...
Yeah, what happened after rolling and all of that stuff?
I know, and...
I'm assuming drugs. Lots and lots of drugs.
Probably, yes.
Oh, man. What is my thoughts on vaping? You know what? I'll tell you this straight up, and don't at me. All right. The thing with vaping for me is once I heard you could get popcorn lung, which is basically an issue where you get an inflamed lobe in your lungs, and that holds the liquid in there. I quit vaping entirely. What up? Yeah, I wasn't about that. I didn't go back to cigarettes either, but you gotta lean on the wall. I didn't go back to cigarettes either. I just kind of said nuts to it. You want to put that out and put one of these? Or I'll wait till you're done that.
Yeah, it's up to you, bro.
Whatever works. All right, so yeah. So
anybody want to know my opinion on vaping?
Yes. We're trying to get everybody's opinion in the room.
Everybody out there right now that's vaping is paying to be a guinea pig in a clinical study. Y'all don't know the long-term effects yet. Normally, scientists pay us to study our bodies and how their shit fucked with us. But congrats, they switched it around and y'all are giving them lots and lots of fucking money for doing it.
The ever controversial intern, ladies and gentlemen.
What's good?
What's your opinion on vaping? Like
my opinion? Well, to be honest, as much as it's something that is supposed to be a little bit healthier for you than smoking, I personally think it's still something that's a substitute for an oral fixation. Without saying that, without of course getting too punny.
I'm not gonna lie, and don't take this the wrong way. I do realize I have an oral fixation. I realized this the other day.
Pause.
No, see, that's why I said don't take this the wrong way. I like talking, for example. Like, that's part of my oral fixation. I like toothpicks for some strange reason. Since I quit smoking, I'll have a toothpick in my mouth if they're available.
People will often substitute like carrot sticks and shit like that when they quit. You'll see people in offices like eating carrot sticks and celery sticks. Those are the motherfuckers trying to quit or really trying not to have a smoke for a little while.
Oh man, like I said, I went from like a pack over the course of a week. Then I went down to like a pack every 2 days. Then I tried this Champex thing, and I went down to a pack for the whole month. But as soon as I finished the Champex, like every 2 days I was buying a new pack.
I probably about 2-3 years ago, I was at about 2 packs a day. I would buy 2 packs on my way into work.
Wow.
Yeah. I cough up some interesting shit sometimes.
Oh,
now I'm at like a pack every 2 days though. So I've cut down drastically without any sort of like clinical aid. You don't need to waste your money, people. Just find the strength in yourself.
Mentality, the strength of mentality, and that was the topic of David Jones's podcast today. The mindset. I find the mindset going into your mentality going into anything determines your outcome.
Facts.
I like toothpicks too, Block. Okay, cool. Shout out to toothpicks. Shout out
to thank all the toothpicks out there for existing in the world.
You know what I mean? Toothpicks for life.
At the next collabo.
Oh man. Oh, you know what? Hey. No, you joke, but you saw what we did when we started joking. There's this one. Oh man, this was one song, "The Way She Loves Me," though. That started as a joke. It was like when Goose made that one. He was talking about laundry. This one guy was talking about doing laundry, and he said jokingly, I hope, said that he had skid marks in his drawers, but his girl still washed them anyways.
He probably wasn't joking. I know he was.
I'm like, that's how you know she love you, though. And then we ended up making the song. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
And then we ended up making up the song called "That's How You Know She Loves You," though. But then you have "That's What She Said," where I come out looking stellar. But
I think
other individuals on the song express themselves true to their nature. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what she said.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Candid Conversations, where we basically talk about whatever comes up, and sometimes it's very controversial. It's not for the faint at heart, that's for damn sure. Okay, so everybody gets to pick a topic. I'm going to let the lady pick first.
Oh.
Just because, not to put you on the spot or anything.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, crap. I had so many ideas on the way here, and now I'm... Okay, actually, yes, we can talk about something. So, while I was looking for files for my, graphic design stuff, I kind of realized I saved a whole bunch of old files from, years ago, too, going back in my backup files. And I found this file that I saved of this conversation I had with this guy I was involved with, who basically passive-aggressively turned me down. And it was probably the most obscure conversation where I let somebody treat me terribly, and I was okay with it until the next day when I started, getting, the shock, or getting out of the shock and realizing, oh my God, why did I even let this guy talk to me this way? But yeah, it was very, it was very obscure.
Okay.
So, without getting into too many details, he was basically a good friend of mine, and we decided to kind of see where things would go. Mm-hmm. And it ended up not being, even though I knew, him and I, it was just a temporary thing. It was never, my instincts were nah, this is just kind of like a a game in the waiting room of life type of scenario.
Okay.
So by the end of it, I even predicted a girl he was going to be with, and then by the end of it, he was already seeing her before the end of us.
Oof.
So when something kind of happened and it came to light, that's when he just felt the right to completely criticize everything about me and my life at the time, thinking he was bettering me and giving me good, wholesome advice to fix myself, when there was really nothing that I needed to fix. I'm not saying that people aren't always, meant to improve themselves. Like, there always is room for improvement no matter what. Yeah. But he was just crucial. He was really mean.
It's that when... Now we're gonna get both sides of the coin out of this one,
and that's fine. Like, and I know I've had some friends, like girlfriends, who've done that to guys too, and have just been completely rude.
Yeah, it's because it's usually an issue that they have with themselves. Like especially in that scenario, it's like they got caught with their pants down, so to speak.
Yeah,
and they were made feel bad, so they in turn want to turn around and make someone else feel the way they did.
Oh, of course.
Why you gotta make me agree with you on fucking camera?
Wait, we actually, ladies and gentlemen, write that down. We actually agree. All right.
Motherfucker got proof of me being like a moral person now. Great.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I can't stand when those toothpicks are cheap. I need the ones that can stand. Like, I want to be able to bite on it a little bit without it breaking, because I get stressed. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, Razor, calm down.
Then you want the bamboo ones. The bamboo ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I have usin machismo.
I'm gonna get you some of those plastic motherfuckers.
I have some upstairs. They're not the same. They have to be wood, bro. They have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The plastic just doesn't absorb the impact of the pressure of the bite.
No, it doesn't.
Feel.
It doesn't.
Because I too have that same thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people are like, yo, listen, this is a candid conversation right now. We're talking about things that you might be thinking about but don't want to talk about in front of people. That's what we're talking about. Those taboo things. Like, since
I didn't realize that toothpick consumption was such a taboo subject.
Well, we're not consuming the toothpicks. We're utilizing them.
Well, if you're chewing on them, little bits of wood would be breaking off in your mouth, ending up in your saliva, going down your throat, and then you're consuming them.
Fiber.
Yum.
Fiber. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
By the time they start to splinter, that's when you throw them out. Come on,
Yeah.
guy. There's a science to this. Yes, I believe in science. Believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
Oh my goodness. It is what it is. Oh man, so we're here now and we're just
How
going
did we get on the topic of toothpicks?
We were talking about vaping and then we
Oral
came
fixation.
to the conclusion that it was an oral fixation, and then
Right.
toothpicks came up as an oral fixation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can't do the lollipops because the paper at the end of it just
Oh, yeah.
unless it has the plastic
Yeah, then it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
lollipop, yeah. Like
7?
no, that's one of the things that people use to deter themselves from smoking.
Really? I never.
Yeah, because it's got a better flavor and it gives you something to chew on. Oh man, yeah.
Never try quitting with chive smokes.
Chive smokes?
Oh, they're like these herbal smokes that I tried like 10, 15 years ago when I tried to quit smoking back in the day. They were marketed as like healthy alternatives. Huh.
You ever smoke?
Look how many times society tells you there's healthy alternatives. Anyway, and they were ass, bro. My lungs were like sore for like a week.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I think they were some sort of herbal smoke, and they were brutal.
Holy. Nah, I'm just thinking. There's just too many. I think I quit 4 years ago, and I'm not one of those. Oh, I quit, so you can too. It's just like, okay, that's your life. Because I find with a lot of situations, especially nowadays, with some of these fucking millennials. But it's like you tell them something is not good for them, they'll go out of their way to use it to try and prove that it is good for them, and then it's just like, okay, now you're in a disposition that I told you to avoid, but you wanted to get into it anyway, so now you want to come back and ask me for help. No, I can't do it. If I tell you how to avoid the problem, and then you end up in the problem, unless you're my kid, even then sometimes I ain't gonna help you out the problem.
This younger generation, generation, I hate to sound like a fucking old fogey, but this generation after us is lucky they're not just walking into brick walls constantly.
Oh my gosh.
They can't do fuck all. They have no fucking skills.
Like, I'm not the most skilled tradesman, but I know how to, like, change my oil, and I can build some shit. Like, I mean, I built my studio. Nowadays, you can't even... I remember asking a youth where to go. Like, they were walking up the street, and I was new to the town, and I'm like, okay, do you know how to get to this area? Because I figure if you're walking, you know where you're going. They're like teenagers in high school. They're like, well, if you go that way, you could go this way. You know what? We really don't know, and we don't want to send you in the wrong direction. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? Like, you don't even know where you're going in the town that you live in? That I knew how to get.
That would have never been me, man. I knew the fucking blueprints of Welland when I was a teenager. We all did. Everybody, our entire generation. It's because everybody sits there with a phone glued to their fucking hand. Technology doing everything but wiping their own asses for them. They don't even have to go out and pick up chicks at the bar anymore. They just swipe left or right.
Oh my gosh! And on that topic. And on that
many diseases, man. Y'all just sign up for a disease when you.
I got a daughter. If any of y'all dudes out there think you gonna disrespect women in front of me, like, I'm telling you, man, you got a whole different ball game. You got a whole. I got sisters. I got aunties. I will not stand. Inversely, I will not stand for a damsel in distress either. I won't. I can't. Like, when I'm on the phone talking to, like, a customer service representative or whatever, and they're acting like they're queen shit, and then I rear my back up, and then I start talking to them like, hey, I understand you have a position in that company, but I got a position in the fucking world here. You know what I mean? Like, and then like, oh, I don't like when you're talking to me like that, but you provoked me to speak like that. How can I get some insight, please? How do I deal with this kind of scenario where, like, the woman is in a position of authority, but she's conducting herself like a damsel in distress.
Well, you got to remember one thing: every time you're talking to a customer service, well, unless it's for even if it's especially if it's for the government, they work for you. So you just tell them to shut the fuck up and do what you want them to do, or you're gonna stop using their service. And then right away you ask for the customer loyalty department.
I feel like you have something to say.
You ask for their name, and then you ask for the customer loyalty department.
Yeah. I feel like she has something to say.
Okay, so define damsel in distress.
Okay.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, obviously I know what that means.
No, I know, but in my context.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
I'm just going to roll out of view here.
And no, I like...
The distinct brand in no way...
If there's anything...
I'm just worried about what he's going to say.
Honestly, if there's anything that I try to be is unbiased towards both genders, because there's some crazy-ass bitches. Like...
Yeah, and, like, you come across like a strong-minded woman. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, I am.
Exactly. So, that's what I mean, like, you can't, like, abandon that strength in mind,
right,
just because someone says something that you don't like, something that offends you.
Well,
like,
yeah, no, exactly.
You know what I mean? There are going to be people who offend you without realizing they're offending you. Like,
well, exactly.
You know what I mean? And there's other people who say things that don't mean to be offensive, but get offensive because that's part of their nature. Like, right. I have, for the better part of 15 years, participated in a rap culture where you're supposed to delineate the integrity of anybody that steps to you the wrong way. So,
of course. You
know what I mean? So, speaking of which, we got Zayd in here, right? But then, when I'm talking to you with respect, like man to woman, and I'm saying, okay, I understand your situation, I understand your position, but these are the circumstances I'm currently dealing with, and based on my understanding of your position, I need your help.
Okay.
Right? And then you say, okay, well, to help you, I have to do this. Or for you to help me, I have to do this. And I say, I've done that already.
Okay.
And then you say, well, then you have to do this. And I say, I've done that already.
Okay.
And then you throw up your hands like, oh, I don't know how to help you then. It's like...
No, then you go to the higher up.
Customer loyalty department.
Exactly. Just exactly like you said. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Okay, so it depends on what corporation you're dealing with. You know, being on both ends of the spectrum, I'm a consumer as well as I've also been on the other end, on the receiving end of that kind of stuff. And sometimes there are times where your hands are tied and there legitimately isn't anything you can do to make the customer happy. But in your case, I'm sure she should have been able to go to a higher up, or at least say, I'm sorry, I don't know how to go, like, I'm only allowed, a certain amount. Let me see if I can talk to my superior and see if there's something I can help you with. At least make the effort to say, hey, I can't help you, but let me see if there's somebody else that can.
Yes, that's...
In other words, they should bullshit you.
No, that's not bullshit.
No, not necessarily, because
no,
I don't want to feed somebody information that's not true. Like, I don't want to say, I can fix your car, and then be like, oh, fuck it, sorry, we can't fix your car. And then you end up leaving.
A lot, and I learned this dealing with customer, and I understand your point, but a lot of times these people are, like, I hate saying this, but their hands are tied.
Oh, I know that their hands are tied, but
anything that they say, like, oh, we'll check back, and then they'll give you a call back, they're literally just hanging up the phone with you and not caring after that.
I know, that's why I don't let them hang up the phone. I was like, get me a supervisor, get me a manager, get me your customer loyalty department, get me your executive loyalty department.
And that's the problem with big business. Once a business is big enough, the customers just become anonymous numbers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's true. Yeah.
It's the same with government.
I ran a small business. I knew 80% of the regular customers by their first name.
I know pushers that are more legitimate than some politicians. So, like...
Hey, I knew every single one of my customers' first name, last name, birthday, fucking what their preference was, half quarter, half O. If I could see that phone number pop up, I knew exactly what was going on. I would deliver morning, noon, and night. That is more than any of these businesses would do for me.
I'm telling you, like,
And I gave deals.
Exactly. You can't barter with you can't barter nowadays. It's like, this is my price, I'm sticking to it. Okay, well, where, like the flea markets and stuff like that, where you could go in and so that shirt's $40. Okay, well, let me get that shirt and like a pair of pants. Okay, but the pants are $35. Give it to me for like $25, and then give me the pants for $35. I'll buy it right now. You know what I mean? Here's some cash.
You saw me do that when I got my Zippo.
Yeah.
I know small businesses will do that still.
Small businesses, but when you get to, like, I've had to bump heads with like telecommunications. I know through and through, basically, damn near every in and out to get your bill reduced or your phone fixed, or you know what I mean, like your problems resolved. Like, I've gone through.
Oh no, thank you.
I have gone through every major telecommunications company in this country. Rogers, Telus, Fido, Bell. I'm with Fido now, for what it's worth. And
so you're basically with Rogers.
Basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've said to them, they've had to replace my phone twice already.
Dear phone companies, make a phone that's just a fucking phone. I'm getting sick of every time I want a phone, I have to buy a computer.
You know, they still have those. They still have regular generic phones, but...
Yeah, my dad has one. We just got one like a couple weeks ago.
Really? You can still get... Anytime I go phone shopping, it's all just smartphones and shit on the wall, and I'm looking at these things, and I'm just going, really? Like, I just want a phone that's just a phone. I remember back in the day when just having a camera on a phone was like...
Yeah, the LG.
And it had Snake. Yeah. Remember when they had Snake on the
wall?
they're
like, what do you mean? The game? What?
Yeah. Now people don't realize they have a phone on their phone.
Yeah, that's so true.
It rings and they're just like, what the fuck is this?
No, honestly, genuinely, I was listening to my music the other day playing a video game, and then the phone started ringing. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, you look at it weird. Just,
oh, yeah,
that's right. This motherfucker actually connects people to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, Freedom does. They have like the old flip phone. Now, mind you, they did upgrade it a little bit, so it is kind of technically a little bit of a smartphone, but very much not.
I know Nokia is actually coming out with a flip phone.
Are they? I missed the brick phones.
Oh my gosh.
Wasn't it Motorola that was?
I think Motorola did. Yeah, but Nokia's coming out with the next one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nokia phones were... I had a Nokia phone one time.
Those things are brick shit.
I got hammered at my buddy's house out in the country, and I lost my phone. I didn't realize till like I'd gotten off work the next day, like where I was like, okay, obviously I left it at my buddy's place. Yeah. I went there, I searched the house, everything, and keep in mind it was like middle of winter. Searched his house, I couldn't find this shit anywhere. I went to go walk outside, and it was in his driveway. He had a gravel driveway, embedded in the ground, so obviously cars had been driving over it.
Oh my god!
I picked it up, thing still had 3/4 of a full charge, and I was able to make a phone call.
That's hilarious.
Was
it definitely
the,
don't make things like that.
The with the gray, and the blue.
Yeah, bro.
Oh shit, those phones were big.
Yo, I swear that phone. I looked right at it. I'm just like, well, that's toast. I picked it up. I'm just like, wow, like
those phones were beasts. Even on this, like, I remember getting cell service on those in the underground sometimes, bro.
Yeah,
in Toronto.
I put that phone through so much. I worked at a golf course at the time. That thing fucking ran over by mowers, everything.
That's bonkers.
It was a brick.
Yeah.
I think it cost me like $30. I went to Avondale and bought it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember those. My first cell phone was my first official one was the Motorola flip phone.
The Razor?
No, not even before the Razor.
Oh, the big black motherfucker with the pull-up antenna?
Not the big black.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
It fit in the palm of my hand, and it was just like, you can just close it like this.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, oh man, I wish I could show you.
I know what
Keep in
you're
mind,
talking
Block's
about.
got fairly big hands, so it could be a large phone for most people.
Yeah.
It might have been.
I was like, look at this tiny ass phone everyone else carrying around a brick. Look at this little thing.
For those of you who couldn't see online, I think it's like from the butt of my palm to the tip of my middle finger is like 13 inches or something like that.
This motherfucker calling a 13-inch phone small.
Hey man, at the
tiny,
time,
this tiny little fucking phone.
No,
Let me hit you with it, knock you the fuck out.
I think it's about 8.
About 8?
8 inches.
Maybe 8. Yeah, probably 8.
Flip.
I don't know.
And as we see here, we have an example of
it's about
how men measure and how women measure. Just throwing it out there.
We always add extra inches. I don't give a. We always add extra inches. I don't give a fuck. I'll admit if I'm wrong. But it's not very often that you have a ruler there anyway. So how are you gonna know? Like if you have a ruler in your bedside, then there's something wrong with your ass. Like you just your bedside table. You just reach over. Oh, how big are you, baby? Oh, I'm about 11 inches. Yeah, let me grab that ruler, motherfucker. Hold on, I never said anything about when I was soft.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen it grow 9 that quickly. So.
Fuck.
Okay, here. This piece of paper I know is 8.5.
8.5, yeah.
8.5 by 11. So
8.5 by 11.
So flip your hand this way. Let me get the full. Yeah, 8.5 right on. I was right.
Okay. Wow.
Right on.
Nothing like getting called out on your own show.
Well, you know what? Like, being in the profession I was in, like, I had to know precisely. Like, I would be able to graphic designing.
Okay,
right?
like I'm like, do you see numbers and angles and shit when I'm talking?
I can.
Like, I'm telling you, I was like, how the fuck did she just? She's like, no, she looked at my hand and she looked at the paper and then she looked at my hand. She's like, nah, bro, you lying.
Nah, man.
Nah.
It's all about spatial recognition. You can kind of. Some people have the ability to look at things and see what's going to fit in a certain spot.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
Tetris.
Yeah.
You
Tetris was my favorite game. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
off.
off.
It's kind of weird. It's a weird way to live sometimes.
It is.
You're sitting there and you're looking in people's houses and shit, and you're like, you know, man, if you would move that.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god. Every time. That's
right,
totally
man,
me.
this shit would be far more like.
Yo, I can't. I hate going into people's houses and looking at the speakers, man. Because like I'm like, fuck, that's off by like 8 inches, and you need to angle it down like 15 degrees or some shit.
For me, it's TV. I'm sitting like every spot in their house, and I'm just like, y'all ain't got one spot in this house that's got a perfect fucking view of your TV, man. You gotta mount that shit, angle that shit, like. Yo,
bro, if you sit down in our living room, there's like 3 spots that have perfect angle, like right in front of the TV, and then you have that lounge that's there. And then you have like another lounge behind that you can actually sit up if you can cross your legs, or you can sink your legs through it. And you can see the TV perfectly each angle. Better in the recliner part in the front, but like you can still see it from the other side. From the other side of the living room now, I mean that's just that's just the other side of the living room.
That's where the company sits. Where you moving, y'all?
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's funny. But
it's great seeing colors change on the side of the TV.
Yeah,
loved the movie.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm that meticulous. I mean, I had to be, right. Like it was. I could sometimes even get things to like a 32nd or a 64th of an inch that I knew was off. It was that. It was that meticulous. Yeah.
Wow. I'm just like. I just like I built this all by eye.
Yeah, I know you did a great job. Like
thank you. I appreciate it. Like.
It has like I said, it has a studio feel in here. Like with like the curve in the wall there.
This is going for it, you know. Like I like the red though. That's what it kind of just pops for some reason. I just like it.
Well, it is okay. If we're gonna go into color theory, red. They paint most food places with red or instances of red because it brings out and it brings out hunger in people.
That's why I always leave this motherfucking spot hungry as shit.
Yeah.
You know me staring at a red motherfucking wall for 2 hours.
That is
nothing
one
to
thing that does.
Nothing to do with the fucking weed.
Right. I
Nothing,
was going to say, there might be something else that might be attributing
yeah,
to that, but
I always get stoned. I don't always stare at red. So.
This is very true.
But yeah, red is a color that normally is picked for food, restaurants.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
That was the first one that came to mind. I was just thinking about passion.
Boston Pizza. What else is there? Swiss Chalet, Arby's.
True. Yeah, they're right.
Oh god, there's so many. You'll notice it now that I've said it. You'll notice it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there.
Circle K.
Oh, she's right.
Yeah. And
you start driving past them. You're not getting me with your devil colors.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck y'all.
Okay, prime example. Tim Hortons right here.
Yeah, right there.
Well, Molson Canadian is technically not, but it's like the food and beverage industry.
Yeah.
Like to point out the honest advertisement coming from my favorite Starbucks.
Yeah.
You'll notice no red. They rely on the quality of their product.
I see. How's that privilege tasted, anyways?
Listen, Block.
I'm just asking, bro. Like,
y'all keep ripping me from my Starbucks.
Yo,
And
bro.
it's fucking fantastic. I love it.
Bro, I ain't mad at your Starbucks.
Shit's pricey as shit, though. It's like $4 a bottle.
That's what I'm saying. I got this coffee right here for $3.07.
Yeah, but that's like a coffee, 17 cappuccino shots, and some sort of espresso.
I'm glad I don't drink coffee.
What's it to you, bub?
I've done his coffee orders before. Can I get a large with 4 sugar, 2 espresso shots, and some sort of flavoring?
It's so true. I can't deny it.
I could probably read the last order off my phone.
Yo, listen, I'm particular. That's why they're giving all these options, so you can get the same feeling as if you were going to Starbucks.
That's right.
It's just ghetto Starbucks.
How much did that cost you there?
It cost me like $3.07.
Okay, this total is $3.49.
This is probably like the same volume.
And I went through far less effort to get this. I literally just walk in a store, grab it pre-made, and walk out. You gotta like think of shit and come up. Probably a
That's
lot
why
of
you
trial
paid
and
more
error.
for it.
I'll pay. My time's worth it. Plus, you know damn well that you're that person at Timmy's. They're just like, oh, fucking this guy.
They are. I got banned from one of the Timmy's, yo. I expect a particular degree of quality when you are rendering a service. Don't come at me at we make hundreds of millions of dollars in profit, and then provide me with some piss poor service. I don't give a fuck. If I drive to your goddamn store for a motherfucking espresso, and I can't get my motherfucking espresso, I'm gonna have a little bit of a problem. Pause.
I am so worried about what this motherfucker does when he goes for ice cream at McDonald's and that shit's broken down.
Yo, listen.
He probably snaps.
Yo.
What do you mean I can't get a motherfucking McFlurry?
Yo, like you don't know, like you know me or something. How do you...
Yeah, but it's never broken down though. It's they say it's broken down or that it's that they're cleaning it, but it's because they don't want to use it anymore. Yeah. You know this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what gets under my skin.
Not gonna lie, I would 100% do that. If it was busy and there was something that was a pain in the ass, and you were like, "Can I get 3 of those?" I'd be like, "Shit's broke," and just go on with my day.
Every time I went there for like 3 weeks, oh, it's not working. What do you mean it's not working? One time, I even got accosted by a homosexual, or a man who appeared to be homosexual at least. Like, accosted! Who the fuck?
Because you wanted a McFlurry?
Not a McFlurry. I wanted my espresso. No, what was it? No, it was. I went there and I ordered a fucking egg sandwich, sausage and egg sandwich on an English muffin. And then I wanted to put lettuce and tomato on it. But the lettuce was 50 cents and the tomato was 50 cents. So I'm talking to Jenny and I'm like, hold on, how the fuck can I get a whole tomato for like 75 cents and a head of lettuce for like $2? But they charging me like literally a fraction of that cost to put a slice on my fucking sandwich. And he heard me. So he's like, oh, that's just how business is. No, that's just not how business is.
Capitalism.
You fucking fairy tale story character.
Capitalism.
Well, you realize you're paying for the service for him to slice the tomato, for whoever to slice the tomato, and for them to put it on a sandwich for you.
Yeah, Block, what about paying people like me? Someone's got to deliver the tomatoes to the...
Okay,
That's right.
But if you were actually getting paid that money, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But
I am in a
Well,
way.
they technically are delivering it to you over the counter.
We are technically, kind of.
Technically, in an indirect, trickled manner.
Like,
yes.
I get that's why poor people stay poor because we get a very small amount of that. But yes. So thank you for supporting local employees.
Listen, man, I'm the dude that argued with Tim Hortons that their goddamn strawberry banana milkshake or smoothies should have strawberries from the region in there. So don't even get me started. Don't even get me
I
started.
thought you to say it wasn't strawberry banana enough.
No, it wasn't.
This strawberry banana shake is not strawberry banana flavored enough.
It was not strawberry enough because I saw him pour red syrup in there. I'm like, is that the strawberry, motherfucker? And he didn't look. He looked at me and just looked back and kept pouring. I'm just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. It's like
go to Booster Juice. Booster Juice is fire.
For an $8 large smoothie.
But it's healthier for you.
I will go to No Frills and buy a $12 bag
How
of
white
frozen
privilege
fruits.
are you going to start calling me if I fucking walk in with a Starbucks and a Booster Juice to the next show, eh?
Yo, honestly, you might as well change your name to Trump, son.
Whoa! Hold on now. Shots fired, motherfucker.
Could have been the Junior Donald. Could have been the Junior Donald.
Hey, listen now. No.
Oh, man. But no, for real, I don't hate, like, if there are people who do things because there was a time where they were, like, talk about these blunts. There were times where I could not roll a blunt, and not because I lacked the capacity to put one together, but because I lacked the resources.
So in other words, this motherfucker was out of weed a lot.
Yeah, but now that my doctor prescribed it, I just...
Now this motherfucker ain't out of weed no more.
Yeah, basically. He makes things succinct.
That's what's up.
That's cool. All right, so yeah, you got to pick your topic. What's your topic?
Loyalty.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Oh, fuck. I am the most loyal motherfucker ever. I never said anything about humility. Ever. Okay, I'll say that to the camera. Ever. Excuse me.
All good. Don't
All
die
right.
on us now.
Just,
No.
no, I don't know, maybe,
but
yeah, just, I don't know, it's fucking, especially around here lately, I noticed there's a lot of, cocksnots that,
I've never heard that term.
oh my gosh.
They,
I am so glad there wasn't more beer in that bottle.
I would have had a shower.
Oh my gosh.
they ain't loyal. Loyalty's not what it was back in the day.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Back in the
Sorry, I had to say it.
Let me on.
back in the day when you had your crew, you literally almost die for those motherfuckers. Nowadays, it seems, especially in music, people jump ship every year or two, and you see it in the mainstream too. You see it in the battle crews. You see it everywhere. People stay loyal for a year and a half, 2 years. And it's just weird. It's just weird. I still talk to people that I knew when I was 12. You know what I mean? There's someone that I know that I've known since I was 12. He lived in the States. If he needed me, I'd be there.
Wow.
Loyalty is everything. But it's like we were talking with the younger generation. The younger generation doesn't have that. Because they're the generation that can just unfriend on Facebook, and that's the end of a relationship. I don't know.
It's definitely a cancel. What is it? The cancel culture? Definitely.
Yeah.
Because everybody is mostly online, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you don't want to deal with it, you just turn it off, and then it's not in your face anymore. But I totally get exactly what you're saying, because I think a lot of the reason is because now, as much as this, there's this progression for all of us to be our best selves and all this kind of stuff, which of course is awesome and amazing and all of that. Yeah. But I think what ends up happening is that we also forget the people that get us to that spot.
Exactly.
Because someone can easily say,
Great.
I can think of one great example of that right now.
Yeah, because someone can easily say, oh, well, I fought for everything in my life. Well, really? No, you didn't, because
you had these 18 motherfuckers who helped you.
That's right, exactly. And
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the wife and I'll put that on right now. You know what I mean? Shout outs to the wife and for all the help she's been over the years. You know what I mean? But as you were saying,
I think, a lot of it has to do with Sorry, you're just making me laugh now.
Sorry.
It's okay, but a lot of it has to do with this, wanting to, be the best of whatever and this and that. And I'm sorry, you're still making me laugh, but, but yeah, it's just it's unfortunate because loyalty does run thin for people that don't have gratitude.
Yeah.
And again, going back to every conversation we have, gratitude is always in there.
Yeah,
but
and grief, like what is it? Grief can't exist with gratitude. Can't coexist on the
Right.
same plane. You know what I mean? So if you are actually, is it gracious for what you receive?
That'd be a good use.
I think that's
Okay,
appropriate.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're gracious, like if I'm gracious for what I receive, then I'll receive more. But if I'm ungrateful, then I'll receive more problems. I'll keep going through things. And when it's like I have this situation where someone told me they want to be like me and my wife, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like, are you sure?
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
I just hit my head off the microphone. I've heard this story.
I'm like, are you sure? And then we tried to give that person advice, and they didn't receive the advice.
So they're an asshole.
They're an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
they
that
are.
term? They're an
yes,
asshole.
they're an asshole. They ask the question, but they don't want the answer.
Yeah, I've come across so many people in my day with that, and honestly, and I'm sure there have been times where I've been one of those too, but sometimes you just kind of need that advice, whether or not you go with it, to maybe reassure yourself. Of that.
Like
but
you.
maybe the more, sorry, not to cut you
No,
off,
go
but
ahead.
maybe the more appropriate question that they should have said was, I like the type of relationship you have, or I like whatever it is that they were liking. Maybe not exactly the same dynamic as yours, but something that's like, because you can tell like with you and your wife, you definitely have your bond, your loyalty, all of that, right? And it's very hard to come across that nowadays. Going back to the whole swipe left, swipe right, you're literally shopping for people online. It's kind of disgusting.
It's
very weird.
Like,
yeah,
even with the people that like you may know, that whole thing is just like, how the
I look at the people you
What?
may know list as like people I've decided not to friend on this motherfucker. Thank you very much.
How do we have 17 people in common? I don't know you.
No, when I see people I do know
weird,
on there,
though.
I'm like, there's a reason why it's people I may know, and not my friends list.
And then when I see people who know people that I know, it's like, okay, I know that person, but that person has never shown me to you. So that person's never shown me to you. Are you the type of person that I want to know?
Not gonna lie, some of my scanning because music and shit. So if they're another like an artist from somewhere else and they actually have music and shit on their page, I'll add them. Just because obviously that's a musician reaching out because they have some sort of respect for your shit.
Yeah. I like all DJs and stuff like that. I'll add up. You know,
like my friends list on Facebook is fucking tiny, bro. I've got less than 200 people on there. I fucking don't add it. My request list is like fucking scan the shit. I just fucking. But I don't add nobody, bro. I'm so particular about that shit.
Well, you should be. I personally think you should.
My family on there sometimes.
Well, sure, of course. But sometimes even family you don't want to have on either because it's like they're going to give you more trouble than people that you don't even know.
Really, realistically,
I'm an attention horse, so I just kind of, you don't look like trouble, and you. Well, I can delete you if I don't like you, and you. Okay, you know enough people that I know, and okay. Like, I actually see that, like, you know what I mean?
Not gonna lie, sometimes I make sure that they at least know block first. If they're from local artists.
Because at least he's done the screening,
right?
I
know you probably screened them.
Yeah.
They are Dave approved. Yeah.
Oh, man. We got Sad Powers. Oh, check out Sad Powers tomorrow at Showtime in St. Catharines. Tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Yep.
St. Catharines, Showtime. Doors open at, I want to say, 8 o'clock, but if it's, get there at 7.
So you type out all the details.
Add the details if you're still in there. Dubs, what up? Andrew, how's it going? Kala, how you been? Dish. Les, what up?
I'm going to do the catch up with the text.
Yeah. Jake was in here for a minute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's some drama with that?
Girl, Girl, like, I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible, but these dudes are not making it easy, eh? Oh my gosh! Oh my...
Bro,
damn them.
I asked a businessman a question that was potentially damaging to his brand.
Here comes the landmine.
Exactly. Well, that apparently is a landmine to sensitive fucking people. Boom! People who can't fucking fight their own battles, so they send their little minions and cocksnots. But anyway, I digress. Yes, cocksnot, bro.
I'm sorry, but I'm literally visualizing that. I visually see a like.
That's the point of the word.
I'm mucocal phallus.
I developed that word, and I've been saying that word for 15, 20 years now. Because I used to work construction, and everybody out there had the fucking mouth of a sailor, right? That's kind of where I talk. And they just, the most vile shit. And I was like, you know what? Fuck these. I'm gonna hit them with something that makes, the foreman make the face that you made when I said it.
Oh.
And I just looked right at one of the workers one day, and I just like, you fucking cocksnot. And bro, everybody just fucking stopped and looked at me, and I knew I had one. And I was just like, yep, this is it. That's it. That's it.
I mean, I've heard of coining the phrase before, but golly.
Cocksnot, trademark.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that's...
Like, and just like you said, you can, like, it puts an image in your head, and you're just like,
Well, it's so funny. Like, this happened like years ago when a friend of mine was leaving, and she's like, "I'm so sorry." She's like, "I have to leave so early." She's like, "I feel like such a dick," and I was literally like looking, and I'm like, "It's like I just like see you like as a big penis with like a head and like eyes, nose, and a mouth, right?" And she's like, I wanted to start laughing, and she was like,
she did. "No one booked that." Yeah. Did you see the wiggle she did? She did a wiggle.
But then she was and I was laughing, and she's like, "Why are you laughing?" And then I told her, and we just started laughing, and I was like, honestly, I was fine. I'm like, don't feel like that. I'm like, now I'll never be able to get that out of my head. But it's funny, but when you literally picture what some people say, it kind of like makes you laugh, especially when you're getting made fun of, or if someone is saying something to you, then you can turn it around and just think of the literal, and then it can just make you happy. I mean, if you're getting bullied, I didn't get bullied. Sometimes I had mean things said to me, but who hasn't?
Better.
Oh yeah.
What up? Yeah, man. Everybody likes
cocksnots.
Oh my gosh! This is Candid Conversations where we just say what comes to mind. Sometimes it is
a couple of fuck y'alls,
and other times
really mean it.
Just fine.
No lube. Just no Vaseline.
Damn.
Take it in raw.
Exactly.
Raw dog.
Like the longest running episodic broadcast of all time.
Yo, Block looks like he's so regretting this right now.
I wouldn't say regretting, but questioning indefinitely. It's all good though. I kind of expected something like this to happen.
Hey man, you want it to be candid and honest, right?
That's all I ask.
And that's all I can get.
That's all I ask.
I'm not going to not address the cocksnots in the room.
Well, so, yeah. We got a lot more for you. Stay tuned.
Okay, can I just say something that I've had on my brain since we started this? I don't know if you guys are Family Guy fans. I was. Or at least, like, we'll probably know the episode I'm talking about.
Family Guy rocks. Okay.
It's the episode where Stewie and Brian host a radio show, and then when their intro would say, "Turn it up and rip the knob off." It's like, I don't know why, like, that's just, like, running through my head. So random. Like,
is it Stewie or Brian?
Oh, well, no, it was their intro. It was like, what do they call it? It was Stewie, or no, it was Brian and the baby, or, oh my god, if somebody's watching and know what I'm talking about, type it in the comments, but I forgot what their show was called.
Oh, man.
But it was something in the baby.
Oh, man, that's great.
I haven't watched it in years, but I think I remember. I remember the episode you're talking about.
You'll know it exactly as soon as you see it. Like, you'll be like, oh yeah, that episode. But it was when Brian was hosting, like, a really boring NPR type radio station.
Okay.
And then, so Stewie comes on, makes fun of him, or calls in, makes fun of him. The radio producers are like, oh my god, that was amazing, you need to bring this guy on. And so then they bring him on, they make their own radio show, and then they turn into like, something like a Howard Stern show.
Okay.
Where they had a girl who wanted to get a boob job or something, and they had like, they were throwing hot dogs at her and everything.
Oh no.
And I think that's what, vaguely, briefly, yes.
Okay.
I remember the episode.
Family Guy rocks. Like
Yes.
I said, man. Like,
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was groundbreaking. I don't know.
It kind of went back and forth. It did have its weird seasons, but I feel like it's more like it was before now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I fell off of it a few years back.
You can try and revisit it, but
Well,
now it seems like it's back to because
Ashley?
I wasn't really crazy about it for a while either. It kind of got a little weird.
Yeah, there's a couple episodes I was just like, But then it's nowhere close to Rick and Morty.
I can't stand that fucking show.
That
bro.
show is just twisted.
I watch that show like
Like,
animation matters. Like I can't watch. I cannot, in good conscience, support such lazy fucking animation, and they get away with it because the stories are probably funny. That's cool. But I find the animation lazy. Just like I found South Park's animation lazy as fuck.
oh, South Park's animation is lazy as
But I mean,
hell.
that kind of goes with, like, I would like the movies for the South Park movie. I thought that was fucking funny. The Blame Canada song, everyone sung it because, the movie came out when I lived in the States.
Yeah, then
So-
there was Uncle Fucker.
Oh, yeah, the cocksucking Uncle Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yes, he did, yeah, man, that shit stuck in my head for years.
Yeah, man.
God.
Yeah, it is iconic. Not even was. It's
Kyle's
just,
mom was a big fat bitch, the biggest bitch in the whole world.
Oh man.
Don't even
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
I used to be able to imitate what's his name?
Carmen.
Cartman, but I have to do a really ugly face when I do it. Because I have to get myself in that position, to
Okay.
contort my face to be able to get
I
that
remember when
tone.
everybody was saying that, no matter what, just at the end of hanging out, just screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What this motherfucker just say?
Yeah.
Screw you too, motherfucker.
Yep. Oh man. Alright, his other one was respect my thought time.
Yeah, respect
Yeah.
my time.
I go around school saying that all the time.
I will still say that to this day, though, as much as I hated the animation, the chicken fucker episode of South Park has to by far be one of the funniest things I have ever fucking seen in my life.
I might not have seen that one.
You've never
I
seen the chicken
didn't.
fucker episode?
I definitely did not know.
Oh my
Why
god!
does-
I was never a big South Park. I never watched it. I only watched the iconic episodes, like the Mr. Hanky
Oh, okay.
and the
Dumb.
Scientology episode, and
Okay.
but yeah, that.
No, the whole episode they're trying to figure out who. There's the
Oh.
bookmobiles in town in this episode, and they're trying to
yeah.
figure out who's raping all the chickens.
Oh
my
god.
gosh.
Yeah, man, it's a
no.
like bushes shaking and shit, and then the chicken just looks traumatized, just like it's fucking hilarious, man.
Oh my goodness. Dubs wants to know why you hate everything.
I don't hate you, Dubs.
There you go. There you go. Oh man, come on.
I don't hate everything. I'm just see things for what they are. I don't sugarcoat shit.
You having a hard time there, Dave?
I am struggling
You're
right
help
now.
What's going on?
Here's click, click, click.
I was trying so hard.
You're like, what?
I didn't want to have to open it. I was just like, it's gonna spill or something. I'm just like,
It's
you know what I
okay.
mean? There we
It's
go.
okay.
All right. So for those of you who are listening to that sound, it was me struggling to get the tab of my Tim Hortons cup
You know
out
what
of
the best
hole.
part is, bro?
What?
Is, as that sound was going on, all the people on camera would have seen is your back, your arm, and
Oh,
flick,
yeah, that's
flick,
true.
Flick, 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 flick.
That sucks.
That's true. That's very true.
Oh my goodness.
You're looking down and making a weird ass flicking noise.
Well, that sucks. I'll leave that open. There you go, Payal. All right, wow. This has been one of the fastest hours ever.
Holy shit, I really.
We're
Is it really?
We're
Oh,
almost
wow.
at an hour, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's been quite the candid conversation. Hold up. Edie's answers. These feelings conflict, he says.
What feelings conflict?
I don't know. Dubs for you.
You the man, Dubs.
That's what's up.
All respect out to your camp, my man.
Stop.
Green Tree, they fucking put in work. Can't never say that they don't.
No, never would. I just got a couple more tracks from Dubs this past weekend, and I played them. It's like Pharaoh's Curse. Have you ever heard that track?
No.
Oh man, it's a tough track. It sounds like it's done with a dude from the UK, but it's just a tough track. Like I can't say anything other than that. Like yeah, they sing the hook. It's like one of those parody kind of songs. Like it sounds almost like a parody hook.
Oh, okay.
But the lyrical delivery of both of them, both Dubs and the next man that was on there, I can't even remember his name. No, it wasn't Hydro.
Cigato?
No. Shout outs to both of y'all though. Shout outs to both of y'all.
Six spitters.
Yeah. The next dude that was on there either way, he did it well. He did it up proper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, and to address the I hate everything, I don't hate anything, man. I guess I hate ignorance. And right now my hate is only for like whoever the fuck wants to come in my, messages and shit and just talk shit to defend a man who's too sensitive to handle his own shit. Everybody else I've gotten nothing but respect for.
I respect everybody doing the thing as long as it doesn't complicate my life. God help your soul if you do, though. I ain't playing with you, motherfucker.
Like, my whole point with that is, like, if I got an issue with this man,
yeah,
why I need this man to start talking shit? Then I'm not supposed to defend myself against this man?
No, you got it.
And then I can't defend myself against this man, and then all of a sudden it looks like I'm going at everybody. Meanwhile, it started with everybody coming at me.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like, that's literally what happened in this situation. Was somebody got sensitive, couldn't take a logical argument that is partially damaging to their business plan. I'm sorry, but it is. Facts. Aspartame and sugar. 20 years ago, aspartame was considered the safe alternative to sugar. It was going to be how to make a healthy society.
Yeah, now it's
20 years later, we now know it causes fucking cancers and shit. Think about how much that was pushed on us. It was in everything.
Yeah.
So to say, do your research and hey, let's wait a little while. I don't want to be a fucking guinea pig. I'm sorry, man, but that's an intelligent consumer.
I saw.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that you hate everything. I think it's more so, and obviously, please correct me if I'm wrong. It's more so you have no expectation, but for the things that you expect to be true and right and loyal, that's where you get disappointed and let down. Like, if you like things that we're supposed to trust. Okay, so like corporations, for instance, let's say they push upon this aspartame stuff, like, oh, it's supposed to be good for you, and then when you find out it's not, you're like, fuck you, I can't trust you, or I don't like you.
Well, that's just it. Society makes the same mistake over and over and over.
Yeah,
again.
and I think it's not so much that you hate. I think it's just more so, I feel like something is letting you down.
I've learned not to trust anything that somebody that has a profit motive,
of course, says. Well, sure. Especially regarding addictive substances. Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I agree with you, to some degree, because, we expect, government and corporations and all this stuff to have our best interest, but then when, they're feeding a mass, a society, when we're trusting them and they let us down, it's like, okay, well, where do we go from here? Like, we are supposed to trust you. So how are we now supposed to not be angry with you because you broke our trust?
Yeah, and that's one big thing. Like, when you, as a corporation or any entity, say, this is what I can provide by way of A, B, C, and you withhold any of those three, it creates a complication for those who you had a service that they expected to receive.
Yeah.
For me, and this is honestly what started the entire thing, is I saw somebody that had a financial interest in a product saying, don't listen to information about this product.
Sure.
When we live in a day and age where misinformation is such a fucking problem, the second I hear somebody who has a financial motive say, ignore that, my back goes up and I say,
oh, sure.
So what don't you want the people who are going to be paying you money for this product to know? I ran a business for a few years. Sure, I didn't sell an addictive substance, so it's completely different. But I know how to sell shit. Oh, the shit just went.
Oh, that's an hour. Resume.
Alright, we're back, people.
We're
anyway,
back.
where was I at there? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, full disclosure, I don't lie about it. I sold drugs for fucking years. I feel like I did more research in my product. Actually, I wish I had. Actually, let me be straight, because back when I was selling drugs, I thought I was a moral drug dealer, because I didn't sell crack, I didn't sell fucking heroin, I didn't sell any of that shit, no meth. I sold pills. I thought, I'm doing the right thing, I'm making my money, yeah, I'm still a drug dealer, but I'm doing my hustle. I'm from, I came up street, that's what I did. That's how I made my money. So, I went, the weed to the fucking pills wasn't a far progression, never went dirty, at least that's what I thought. And now I look around, meth head's still alive, crack head's still alive, all my friends that I was selling pills to, they're all dying. Oxycontin was marketed as safe 15 years ago. Perks were marketed as safe 15 years ago.
Right.
That's what is killing society right now.
Right.
And I personally marketed that shit to people as safer than crack. You want to party? This is better than that other shit.
Well.
So sorry from personal experience there, fucko. But I know the cost that comes from not doing your fucking research and then marketing for money.
Are we all on the same page yet? Cause this was
statute of limitations is long gone, by the way, so I ain't getting charged for nothing.
This is this conversation right here continues from 120 some odd plus post comment. Or comment post. I was just okay, hold on, scroll. Hey yo, Jen A, grab some popcorn. Scroll. Oh yeah, the buttery kind. Okay, scroll.
I never respect a man who chooses to remain ignorant.
Oh man.
Always stay woke.
Gotta wake up if you're sleeping, though.
They only want to stay woke as long as staying woke is to their benefit.
Well, yeah, exactly.
These people, well, honestly, they'll complain about eating processed food while consuming processed tobacco.
Yeah.
There better not be no GMOs in my fucking tomatoes. Well, at the same time, give me that random-ass liquid to shove into my lungs.
The organic to whatever, the GMO ratio is ridiculous. How the fuck you gonna tell me I can get one of them fake bananas for 57 cents, but I gotta buy a real banana for 96 cents? Motherfucker, that shit you just gotta water that shit, motherfucker. Why am I paying so goddamn much? It doesn't require no machining, no nothing. I am upset about this. A change needs to be made. I should have picked a better fruit than a banana, but whatever.
You gotta go with something tropical that's shipped in. There's a huge process to grow it here. Motherfucker couldn't have picked apples.
Apples then.
There you go.
There
apples.
we go. What vexes me in general is the fact that we have so much space to build greenhouses and shit that we could actually grow some of these tropical fruits in, and we do nothing but build wineries. Don't get me wrong. I like wineries, like the next guy, but we don't need that.
It's because that's the number one industry for this area. It will never. We live.
We're in wine country.
We live in an area.
I gotta pass the wine to a couple of wine.
Wine
estates. Yeah.
Grapes are one of the hardest fruits to grow properly. The vines, they take 20, 30 years to get nice. If a winery plants grapes and shit,
yeah,
their first 5-6 years from those vines will produce a little bit, maybe all right. When they really hit is 20, 30 years. Some of these wineries have 100-year-old fucking vines, and that's the really good wines. And we live in an area where that shit can just grow like it can in certain areas of Italy and shit. And we're lucky like that. There's another area like that up in Kingston area.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
It has the same kind of ground.
Yeah, because we're on the same latitude line as Italy. That's why we can grow just like they
But
can.
we're very lucky that we're just a small little area that can make it happen.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I'm not lobbying against wineries.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying, why can't we have something else too?
Yeah. Like,
I honestly think we just need to leave fucking parkland and shit. Like, stop cutting down
Parkland.
trees. Fucking maybe, like, we live near the escarpment. Maybe, stop building mansions on top of that thing.
Parkland needs to be more like a park. Like, I want to be able to walk the trail and, like, do some, like adventurous shit. Like, I can't.
Bro, I was just out at the falls the other day, and there's, like, more construction and shit down there. Like, they're changing the fall. The falls is different than it was fucking 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Every park is now a tourist attraction you got to pay for. Something. Viewing platforms are now is where that sick ass. It was the best fucking viewing platform of the falls. So now it's zip line. You gotta pay $75 motherfucking to even see that.
Oh
view.
yeah,
gosh,
I forgot
wow.
about that.
There's the one park down in the other area that's got like that wire cable thing now. You gotta pay to park there and shit. You used to be able to go park there for free, have a good day at this little park.
Yeah, now you
they
have
ruin
to.
everything, man, for the almighty dollar.
By the gorge. So like where the Whirlpool Gorge is where it bends, like where it goes from Niagara River and then it bends to go towards the falls.
Okay.
Yeah, so that used to just be a lookout point, and then there was a stairwell that you can go, down to the gorge. But now they built like this. What is it? What am I trying
like
to?
High ropes course.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So they made it exactly like a tourist attraction.
Everything's just tourist attraction now.
It's not about the people. Well, the people need to make it about the people. I think that's what we thought. Like we've lost our sense of civic
Union?
pride.
No, we've lost the ability to do anything, bro. We are all so busy with our day-to-day lives just surviving that everyone's too fucking tired to do what needs to be done.
I agree with you on that one.
Back in the day, like when weed was legalized, I felt such a victory because I took like 7-8 years since I'd even done anything, but I used to do marches and shit. I hung out with all the fucking activists down in fucking Hamilton there. I did the 420 walks. When the Up and Smoke Cafe was raided and shit, I organized a rally on 421 that got fucking a couple hundred people out in front of the police station. I was all about, like, I literally put my safety, my record, everything on the line to fucking legalize pot. I can't do that shit now.
This segment of Candid Conversations is brought to you by Tim Hortons.
Fuck capitalism.
Or the Tim Hortons that you purchased. Remember, you gotta be careful
the
how
Tim
you
Hortons
advertise.
that I purchased. The Tim Hortons that I purchased. Yeah.
It's okay. Just got your back, Dave. Got your back. Gotta make sure.
I appreciate
He
that.
allegedly purchased. There we go.
Right,
Now we've
yeah.
Let's not get into conversations about allegations because that'll just test my patience.
Yeah.
I got a couple topics.
Okay, I never got my topic
I'm
yet.
joking.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go for your topic.
Okay,
yeah.
so okay, I just gotta revisit it. It's like, why is it that we as a society can get together to party, but we can't get together to like life plan?
Well, because partying's fun and life planning, everybody's selfish when it comes to that shit. You only worry about yourself when it comes to the future. You don't look at the next man and be like, I hope he retires nicely on the beach.
But I don't not want the person to retire.
No, you're like, I'd rather it be me than that motherfucker. Like, if it's gonna be between me and you, like, you're looking at the next man, like, not you, no, I'm not gonna pick you because you're the homie, I hope you fucking hit that shit too, but...
You see, he hit that shit too! It's like, I want you to get there before me, bro. I don't care, really, I'm gonna get there.
But if if I'm in Timmy's, I'm like, oh, I hope that, you're looking at the guy, you're like, oh, I hope that guy does well for himself, but then you're like, I hope I do better.
You're talking to a man who'll let people go in front of him when I'm not sure what I'm going to order. So,
bro, I'm
that
guy that if people look confused for a second, I jump right to the line. I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
I'm here. Y'all couldn't decide that shit. I know.
Oh, I always let people ahead of me when I don't know what I want, because I don't want to be that annoying person that takes forever when you're there and you know what you want and you're like, oh my god.
I know what I want, though. I'm very... I go into places knowing what I want. I make up my mind in the parking lot.
Yeah, we've seen this at Taps. When he ordered his food and his drink at the same time, I'm like, but I thought there was a custom. I thought you were supposed to wait, like order the drink, then give them some time, then order the food, then give them some time. You mean you can do that shit? This is new to me. I want to do this next time. And I did.
No, you can always order like right away.
Bro, I try to do that anytime I can.
I did. It was just like
that way. You saw it. Everyone else, fuck, I'm hungry, and I'm like, I'm getting full.
The first time I went there, I was like a ghost, bro. It was like just not acknowledged at all, and I was just like, "Are they trying to make it not? They're trying to make it not awkward." They don't want to point it out, but we all know, like.
You know what it also might be though, too. I mean, never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. Oh yeah, you lost your
Oh man. Resume. Oh, come on now. There you go. Okay. So yeah, what else could it be?
That maybe that one person thought that you were already taken care of, and that other person thought you were already taken care of. That other person thought that you were already taken care of. So nobody ends up getting taken care of.
Okay. Yeah, it's like pop fly. I got it. You got it. You got it. No,
yeah,
you got it.
I mean, it could be. I don't know, but.
No, that's a good. You see, that's the thing. I appreciate that because it's another perspective. I sometimes get into my own head where it's just like, oh, I've done something wrong to make people in society not like me, even though I know I'm a pretty awesome dude. No, it's just
you're fine. Honestly, I think it's one of those. Oh, did that person get that? Okay, did that because I know that it happens all the time. Like in retail, when I worked in retail, it was like, oh, did that person get that? Did that person get that? Next thing you know, nobody got taken care of, and then that person leaves and complains.
Oh man, yeah.
Because nobody got talked to.
Oh man,
I am that motherfucker that straight up leaves. I've left shit like at an Avondale. People are doing lottery in front of me because I worked at a store before, and I know if you got somebody that's like old or whatever taking their time doing the lottery, you kind of like, let me take this guy that's got 2 things and wants a pack of smokes. Yeah. Spending $5, get him the fuck out of here.
I used to work at a Max. I know exactly.
All legit, like, just look right at the person if I've been there for a couple minutes, and I'm just like. Dip.
I'm big on customer service. Like every store I've worked at, I've been.
I can't
like,
tell.
I've worked close
really?
to that.
No. What?
It's no whole. If we think the block is big into customer service,
it's a big thing right there. It's a serious thing. But I want to be greeted when I walk in through the door. You know what I mean?
Oh, so I hate that shit.
That's
specifically why I don't go to places like Red Lobster.
What?
I hate walking into places and people are instantly like happy and saying hello to me.
No, man, that's a necessity. I need to be acknowledged. I'm going to be spending money in your store. There's hundreds of other stores I can spend this money in.
I'm that other person. I'm like, I'm gonna be here. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me spend my money and get the fuck out.
As soon as I'm sure that I've done my part for you, I will leave you the fuck alone. But until I've done my part, I am like Baymax, motherfucker. Shit. Are you satisfied with your service? No? What can we fix? You know what I mean?
See, I'm that guy that's like, if I'm not satisfied with my service, I'll fucking tell you.
See, I don't want to get to that point. I'd rather avoid that conflict if possible. It's like, if I can sense that there's an issue, then I'm gonna like try to head that off in the past.
Well, look at it this way. Do you really like to be bugged when you're, a big-ass bite full of lasagna in and you're just chewing away and some dude comes over and asks you how your night's doing? Oh, no. Like, what the fuck? No. I'm literally enjoying my meal. It was great until some asshole came up and tried talking to me while I was eating. That's kind of annoying,
Hi, Tracy.
Like, hey, it'd be great if I could have nobody bugging me while I'm consuming my food. Go the fuck away, if there's free refills or whatever, cool. You see my cup empty, come by, fucking ask me. Like, that's a logical reason to come by. I hate when they just like walk by and they're just like, everything okay?
No, I'm.
What the fuck makes you think everything's not okay?
No, because there's signs that people give off that let people
true.
know that, like, if I have a whole plate full of food and I'm sitting back like this, they're gonna think, okay, like, he's not eating. Why is he not eating?
Right,
you know what I mean?
wrong.
There's something wrong with the food. That's why they ask, is there everything okay? Like,
Yes, but they don't come around when you're sitting back like this.
Yeah.
They come around when you're sitting like this.
Well, for you, I went to Mr. I recently, after, like, it took me like 2 years to even think about going to this place, Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual.
I never go to places that start with the name, with Mr. It's just, I don't know.
It's not.
There's just something about Mr. anything.
Mr. Louvre.
I didn't even think about that one. Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. Side note, there is a KY Farms.
There is.
There is. I drive past it on the way to one of my appointments.
Yeah, KY Farms.
KY Farms, yep. That is too funny.
They make jams and jellies?
I was about to say I should take a picture of it and, like, superimpose, like, a jelly or something, or a jam in there. Jelly.
Get some KY jelly today. Imagine the advertisement for that, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on down, get your KY jelly today.
Oh.
People show up, get some really fucking disappointed.
Oh, man. I was
expecting some raspberry KY jelly. This shit's actually jelly.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what happens here at Candid Conversations, ladies and gentlemen. We go there and beyond. Oh, my gosh. Oh, what up, Dice? Billy Dyson in here. Alright, the wife injury's in here as well. Okay, I'm saying hi to people that are dipping out. Alright, people, it's whatever. Still, we're here having some candid conversations, letting the people know how we think about different things. Maybe you've thought about these things and you've gotten some insight. Maybe you have. Maybe you haven't thought about any of these things and you're just like, wow, these people are really serious about the stuff they talk about. And yes, we can.
You have to be. You have to be serious.
You know what I mean?
Well, if you have no passion about something, then what's the point?
Exactly. It's just like, what they say, if you don't stand for one thing, you'll fall for anything. Yes.
Oh, sorry. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just too much to, like, pick one thing. If every person picked one thing and advocated for it, one thing they felt passionately about and advocated for it, you'd be surprised how many other people you'd find that share that same passion. It's like, for music, I came out here and I said, I'm going to find my way into some, development of, like, this craft. And, like, between my studio and, like, 6 other studios, I could say Choom Gang, Distinct, and not in any particular order. It's just alphabetical. Green Tree, Union Gang, who else?
Well, we got Hayes' crew.
Oh, yeah. Dream Big Money Management.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
Fire sound.
Oh my gosh, Head Pop Beats.
Head Pop, bro.
Yeah.
Beats are insane.
Head Pop Beats are bonkers.
And he learned quick.
Yeah.
He legit hit me up the one day. He was just like, yeah, I'm just making beats and shit like that. Like, I was talking to him and shit like that. He's like, yeah, it was like his third beat in, and I heard it, and I was just like, bro, that's where the Haunted Dream, that's the track. I spent Haunted Dreams on. I heard that beat, and I'm just like, so you're gonna send me that beat, right?
Yeah. And
I wrote to that in a day.
What was the
and
track?
I dropped it.
What was the track that we did? The collabo on one of his beats.
I wasn't on that one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. Come on now. I'm a DJ when I'm not.
Oh yeah.
When I'm not a talk show host, I'm a DJ. I know what I'm talking about, bro.
I can remember.
I can't. Yeah, man. I need to know the name of it because I want to play it on Saturday, but or even Friday. Jeez, while he's looking for that. We also have, we got a few shows going on. There is the Viz show that happens Sunday at 12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
On Sunday, yeah.
On Sundays on 4680q.ca. That's 4680q.ca. Because people say I talk too fast. It's okay. That's with the Viz. And then you got Indie Rocks on Thursdays. From 2 to 3 p.m. You also have the Ryan Lunch Show on Tuesdays from 2 p.m. Don't quote me on that one. I could be wrong. But they're all on 4680q.ca, so check that out when you get the chance. You can listen to this anytime online at Spreaker.com/ThetyRelleffect. There's a lot of E's in there.
I cannot find this track, man.
Oh, man.
I've got it on there somewhere, but I also have like 400 other songs.
I need to find the name of this song. Like, you remember that thing that happens to Carbon when he can't...
Yes, bro, it's happening to me right now. I can spit my verse to it.
Okay, switch your verse and see if I can remember it. Like,
I'm not just going to spit my version at the beat, though.
Okay, fine, whatever. It's all good. It's all good. You, like, is it there? Like, come on.
It's the one where I'm like, apparently I'm not supposed to be a rap. Like, where I basically...
Yeah. No, but I keep getting Haunted Dreams crossed over with it. Like, I'm hearing the one track, and then all this is just like fading over. It's like, so I sold my soul for these haunted dreams, and I'm trying to fade it back over, and it won't fade. It won't fade.
Okay, when that happens,
Because my track is haunting, bro.
Yo, okay, what is it? Let me see. I'm gonna look here. No, man. I'm gonna have to look through this after the show, ladies and gentlemen.
There's too much distinct music.
Like, I'm going through this, and it's like 4 or 5 dozen songs right now. It's just crazy. Oh, man. Like, I hope, you see, when I see this folder, I'm like, there are other camps that I'm sure I could get a folder of this much stuff from, but it's just, nah, man, what is it? Like,
we dropped 2 new bombs the other night, too.
Yeah, I got them.
Did you listen to those?
I listened to them, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I said, there's... Oh, come on.
2 tracks in 4 hours. There's some people out there that say, you know, artists need to just kind of go out there and spend like a week or 2, but I don't know. Kind of showed up 4 hours later, we walked out with 2 bangers.
Oh, man.
Distinct. What's up?
I just exposed the North.
I just exposed the North.
I swear to you, Expose the North started before We the North, and congratulations, She the North. That's all I'm gonna say. You can go back to, like, whatever. It's not.
Oh, gosh.
What is it, man? I can't find the song. Oh, my gosh.
Bro, I don't even want to talk about it anymore because it's really bugging me. 'Cause you know what's going to happen? I'm going to, like, be on the drive home, and I'll, like, the 3rd song into the playlist, it'll come on. I'll be like, son of a fuck!
Oh, man.
I can change the subject for a second.
Yes, please.
On my way up here, I have my MP3 player plugged into my car, and I heard Pharaoh Monk, Simon Says. I haven't heard that song in
my goodness.
long.
You know what? It's funny because there's, like, going back to wrestling. Yes, I do. There's a transition. Whatever. There's a song. There's an entrance.
Get ready to talk.
There's an entrance. There's an entrance theme for a superstar by the name of Samoa Joe, and it's actually his entrance theme was inspired by that song.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of just showing you how, like, hip hop transitions into, like, so many different things.
It really does.
Like, the same way so many different things transition into hip hop.
Oh, hip hop transitions into everything.
Yeah.
And
I
for everybody
agree.
out there that's saying that Lil Nas, because this has really been bugging me lately, that Lil Nas and Billy Ray Cyrus broke some barrier
What up?
with hip hop and country mix.
No.
Please go back to, like, the late 90s, 2000, and look at the shit that Nelly
my
did with
head,
fucking Tim
I
McGraw.
said over and over again.
Exactly, like,
I
yeah.
can't play over
Bro.
and over again. What do you
Nelly-
mean?
I forgot about that song.
Nelly-
No, that song is a classic.
Nelly and Tim McGraw broke that barrier 20 fucking years ago with
Oh
a
my
way better song.
Gosh, it was been 20 years ago already.
And they also had I Am Number One. He did with fucking, I think, wasn't it Tim McGraw? He did that too.
I'm not
Some
sure. I
guitarist.
know. I know. Like
Nelly was breaking that.
he was breaking.
He was breaking that
he was
barrier
breaking
fucking
barriers,
20
and
years
people
ago.
were making people like 50 again making fun of him, and ragging on him, but he still did his thing.
Bro, I loved that shit back in the day.
Yo, now the country grammar. What do you? I'm dancing that shit right.
So hot. And
Just-
Oh, my
yeah.
God. I
so hot.
totally forgot about a lot of that
What do you-
stuff.
The lead woman from that track was actually from Malvern.
Okay.
Yeah, from Hot in Here. I was just like, And I lived out in Scarborough at that time, so that was real big for us. It was like, they called her a video hoe, unfortunately. But, like, you know what I mean?
Why? Only played a
the face.
video.
Like, y'all need to start respecting each other more because, you know what I mean? Ain't no one gonna get anywhere if we keep tearing each other down. This crab in the bucket mentality needs to stop.
It's not like it's a new thing, though.
I know it's not. Chaos made a song about it. I
was just literally that song in my head.
Think about some of the old music, bro. The thong song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cisco.
Oh my God! But the song was Cisco and DMX. What these bitches want?
What these bitches want from I can't. You can't. Yeah. And y'all gotta stop making hooks that we can't sing.
Yo, listen, I saw a dude, walking like this 14-year-old Caucasian gentleman walking down the street, give or take, and he was listening to this tune, and every other word was, well, I could say it, every other word was nigga, okay? And I'm just like, well, that's an interesting choice of music for someone of your demographic.
Hold on, wait, now that's not fair.
Yes,
because I can listen to that music. Why can't I just can't sing it.
But if you listen to
Why can't I listen to it?
Bro, if I walk down...
I grew up listening to Tupac, fucking Biggie...
Okay, I'm not saying you can't, but, like, you don't want that to be blaring down the street as you walking, bro.
Why?
Like, you want that in your ears so people don't...
Why can't I enjoy it?
You can enjoy it in your headphones.
Imagine if I switched it around. A black dude should not listen to country music.
You aren't.
Why?
We are not putting up a fight.
Hold on. Or
I do not. Yeah, I'm not a fan of country
music. Or if I saw a
music.
black dude listening to rock.
We are still not putting up a fight.
That's not true though. That's very. There's black country musicians.
Yes, Darius Rucker.
Oh, he's so good.
I don't know his name, but imagine if somebody said, "Wait a minute."
They did.
You can't do that.
They did.
And how did you feel about that?
He said, "Fuck y'all."
So that's kind of what I'm saying when you say I can't listen to that fucking music.
Well, I guess he had a little bit more respect because he changed the channel. I was just saying, like, there are better choices of music. Like,
what, Eminem? I gotta listen to Eminem.
I never said you have to listen to Eminem. I never even said you're not allowed to listen to hip hop. I'm just saying, like, there are particular things that come off a way that you might not realize. Like, what happens if he had been in another scenario and come across someone who had lesser patience for those kinds of things?
For the fact that he listened, was he saying these words out loud or was he just listening?
No, he was just listening. But it was like the level, like,
so
it was
who
just.
Who the hell cares?
I guess I did.
Why though?
Because I don't want it to make it. I don't want.
Why are you policing what other people listen to?
I'm not policing what other people.
That's literally what that is, though.
No, I didn't say you can't listen to it. I just said that's an interesting choice of music.
But in like a
he within
way.
himself. No, I said that's an interesting choice of music. There was no connotation.
Why can't anybody listen to anything? Hip hop's not about race anymore. It's about the streets. It's about the life. It is, bro. We can have this conversation all day, but it's about the streets, man.
I'm not saying
it's evolved into what it is nowadays. And
there are directions. There are people bringing it into directions that they want it to go. That I will say. But, like, for you to walk, for a youth, for any reason, to walk down the street and have something propagating ignorance can be problematic.
My favorite CD when I was 14 years old was the True compilation. Hootie Hoo, No Limit Soldiers. So you're saying that at 14 years old, I shouldn't have been listening to that?
Where were you listening to it?
All over, bro. I still listen to it to this day.
Okay, you're a grown man today.
But back then I was listening to it. It was introduced to me by my best friend Mike, who was a big, tall black dude. He was basically my
relevance?
big brother. No, I'm just saying, since, like, you want to say a certain, like, it...
I'm not.
Did I need that cosign to be welcomed into listening to?
Why are my words being flipped on me? I didn't even. I said that's an interesting choice of music for someone of your.
Someone with a big blob.
Oh Jesus! Oh man, you want me to read all this, don't you?
Who is it?
Christopher Ryan. Yeah, Turf's making a good argument here, though. What's good is good, I must say, as white dude. Oh my gosh. Some of the modern shit, like YBN Gang, says the world 3 times. I hate to say it, but it does. Oh, God.
Is there a Seymour?
Yeah, there is. But it does make... what? Make every line. I hate to say it, but it does make me want to roll up the window because it's kind of embarrassing given how pale I am. LMAO, but music is music.
No, I'll blast anything I listen to. Like, why not? Should I say, like, if I see, like, somebody of another race listening to my music, like, my personal song, should I say that's a weird choice?
If you see someone doing something that could, in a tense situation, put them in a disposition, I would expect you to change the situation or the circumstances.
But it's the music.
It's a level of sensitivity of society. If you think that it's appropriate for you to listen to something that degenerates an individual, another culture, then while adapting parts of their culture, it does create a perspective. It does create a little bit of a hypocrisy. It's like you want to listen to the music, but you don't want to live the lifestyle that's propagated by the music. Yes.
The original purpose of hip hop was to put the story of the black struggle into the ears of white America. And now you're sitting here saying that white America actually listening seems weird. That's literally the original intent of the art form, was to say, "Hey, you white motherfuckers."
So you're telling me the only black media has to propagate the stereotype?
But that was that was the original.
Okay, if we're talking about the evolution of music, if we're talking about the evolution of music, if we're talking about where we're going to from where we're coming from, then we got to look at the elements that we are trying to overcome. And I, at this point in my life, am not trying to be seen as some ghetto thug because some individual wants to blast that music while walking down the street.
Does listening to Tupac make you seem like a ghetto thug?
Are you asking me a redundant question?
Like, if we're rolling, if we're just rolling down the street and Tupac comes on, are you looking at me thinking, why is this motherfucker listening to Changes?
I'm trying to figure out why you arguing the Changes, really. Like, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I don't know.
I hear where you're coming from.
When anybody says anything is, especially culturally like that, I don't know. I don't like that because everybody can be whoever the fuck they want to be.
I'm not saying...
You could listen to Liza Minnelli. I wouldn't judge you. Well,
I don't.
I'd be like, why do you listen to Liza Minnelli?
You would be the first to judge me. If we're driving down the street and all of a sudden, la 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 la, some shit like that comes on, you're just like I have Hooked on Classics on my phone. It's basically like it starts as the ceremonial wedding song, and then it goes through a different progression of like orchestral music. I know if that comes on, I'm getting eyes like this.
When you have your windows open, you're blasting like.
You know what I mean?
So what am I allowed to have my windows down while listening to?
I'm not That's what I said. I'm not policing you. I'm just saying
without you looking sideways and being like this.
I don't want to say caution, consideration. Exercise consideration in the scenarios that you are playing your music. Like, I hear things happen all the time where I'm just like, okay, there's a couple of people that drop the word nigger around me like it's like people are like everybody's over it. I'm just like, I'm not going to start a conflict over it because that's the ignorant thing to do, but we still got to talk about the usage of that word because it just doesn't sit right. I don't know.
I get that, but I still don't understand what's wrong with listening to it.
Because then you listen to it and then you sing it. And you sing it and you don't realize you're singing it and you walk down the street and then someone hears you singing it.
Okay, so now we've gotten into the singing it out loud. That's not what the kid was doing, though.
No, but you asked me the hypothetical.
Okay, and the hypothetical. So you don't think that white people should say the word? I fully agree. But hence why I said, can you start making hooks that I can sing?
You can sing my hooks. I gotta...
No, I can sing your hooks. But like I said, I started singing the one hook, what these bitches want from, and then I just had to...
Yeah.
Realize how... That was literally my life. Like, chilling with all the homies, like, what these bitches... And they just look at me.
I didn't even want to say bitches, because there's a woman in the room.
I don't care.
But there's a difference between a woman and a bitch.
Yes, a bitch is a female dog.
Okay.
A literal term, yeah.
In a literal term, okay.
In a literal sense, yes.
Yes, but okay, a white dude, as white dudes, we have to say WA, not NWA, not You're killing me right now, bro. All my friends that are black always call me that N-word, LOL, but I would never say the word myself. That's the line, I think. Yeah. Corey Hayslip, isn't it funny? We were just talking about the tracks that he makes. We need to bridge cultures, not wall off cultures. You're right.
Exactly.
LOL. Wait, not... LOL, wait. We don't listen to Liza. The streets is a lie. I think we should be marketed to more and should say cracker more often. Oh my goodness!
Yo, who said that? Hayes?
That's what Chris Saint said.
Saint C, me and you, we're gonna do a What Up Cracker track.
Oh my gosh!
That's gonna be coming soon. It's gonna be cracker over and over again.
Oh
so you were saying a difference between a woman and a bitch?
The difference between a woman and a bitch. Yeah, it's like a woman has a sense of self, a structured sense of self. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, she has an idea of what she wants from her life and where she's going in a direction. And, like, she's willing to, like, and this is something that's very it's kind of counterproductive in some ways, but she's willing to put herself behind to put someone like her person forward.
I think that's male and female. I don't think that's
Yes.
I don't think that's just.
Okay.
But I think I get what you're saying in a definition of a woman. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, any good, considerate person would put themselves, behind anyone, ahead of them.
Yeah.
And depending on the regard, right?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, yeah. So whereas the bitch in the and we're using the hip hop reference or the Ebonics term is like someone who always wants for themselves without willing to give towards another cause and just like lives by the moment, doesn't really know where she's going, and you know what I mean. There are times of like where you get to a point and you have to decide what direction to make. That's different than not embarking on the journey to get there. You know what I mean?
Right. So basically, the bitch will step on heads, whereas the woman will, climb the ladder properly. Is that
I don't
what
like
you're trying
that,
to say?
actually.
Yeah.
Because, and this is, Block's probably gonna be like, holy fuck, this guy's being like fairer than anybody. I hate when a determined and strong woman is considered a bitch or emotional or anything like that in the corporate world. When if a guy does the exact same thing, he's motivated, he's a go-getter.
Yeah, that's definitely the other topic of that as well.
Yeah, there is that.
You
bro,
see it all the time.
I got sisters, bro. What are you talking about? I've seen them.
You see it all the time. It's like, yo, she's a bitch.
Sometimes.
Why?
Yeah.
She did this to this guy. But this motherfucker's done it 17 times to get where he is, and he's motivated.
It's definitely a double standard.
No, like, it's
definitely.
It is. There is. If we're talking about double standards of men and women, we can.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough time for that.
We could go all day. Oh man, I gotta answer this for a second. But y'all, we'll be right back. We're still live on the Spreaker.com. So yeah.
Alright, so
yeah, hello. How you doing?
I guess we're just gonna kind of chatter so people aren't listening to his phone call.
Yeah, that's fine. But no, I totally agree with you.
By all means, go ahead.
It's unfortunate that there is that double standard, and I know I've approached it myself as well, where I always try to be both sides, where I'm considerate, and have that firm hand, but sometimes it's just you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Well, that's just it. I think, I don't know. I don't like when people are judged or viewed based on any physical attribute. I prefer that people are judged on their actions. I
agree.
So if somebody, like I was saying in the corporate world,
cross the border.
They look at a woman who's like that and they say, holy fuck, like she's a bitch.
Yeah.
I don't have my pants on her.
I don't like that, and that's kind of been the problem for like the last 60 years. Probably 70 years. Right?
Get them to mail it to you. Tell them you'll pay for the shipping and send it to them.
I don't know. We're rewarded for being assholes. Like in the corporate world, we are by far the most successful people are the biggest assholes.
Yeah, but you know what? I wonder where that comes from. Does that come from the years of men having
I'd do it for you,
the societal obligation of being the provider?
That's what it is. I think it's that, and the insecurity that comes with that changing.
Right. But you know what? Okay, so now let's flip the script here. Okay, maybe I should wait till Dave is back. But you know, then there's the, you know, guys can't show emotions, and I think that's
Oh, I hate that.
and I think that's awful to say that, because
so it shouldn't cost too much. Maybe
it's
like
not,
$15,
you know, it's not
$15.
emasculating for a guy to show emotions. It isn't, and I in fact think a man is stronger when he's able to be open and honest and communicate with himself.
I think that's part of the problem with society today, is that we're the product of generations that are told, the men are told to bottle shit up, and that's when you have people who just explode. That's where you get.
Well, exactly.
I think that's where you get a lot of these cases of domestic abuse, because the guys spend the first 3 years of the relationship like, okay, I'll just be a doormat, and then finally something snaps and they go fucking full tilt.
Yeah, definitely in some cases.
Instead of like. Maybe when they're starting to get stressed, being like, honey, we need to talk.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
because a lot of relationships, you know, the girl will go to her little girlfriend and be like, he's such a little fucking baby.
So
I don't
it's really not true. Yeah, I know, and that's coming from an ignorant point of view, right? And that's somebody coming from, my needs aren't being met, I'm going to complain about it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just, again, like I say, I always try to be unbiased, and I always try to, you know, see both ends of the spectrum, where, you know, it's like, let's say, for instance, you know, a friend of mine comes up to me and says, well, my boyfriend was being a jerk to me today. Okay, well, what happened? Mm-hmm. You know, so instead of saying, oh, yeah, you know, and don't get me wrong, like, I will be there for my girls or whoever. I will root for you. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to lead you up a false trail either, where it's like...
Sometimes you're listening to the story and you're being like, actually, you're the bitch.
Well, yeah, well, no, exactly, right? Like, because I just think it's unfair. Like, when you're, you know, you're not serving the purpose of that person, and you're not helping them get better, you're just making them more ignorant by allowing them to be ignorant. But yeah, like... I hate it like I'm just very passionate about that kind of stuff, because, you know, for as much as guys, you know, do stuff to girls or whatever, I think guys also still have it a lot worse than women sometimes in some regards.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, and I just always try to, you know, see the both sides to everything. And I don't know, I don't know, maybe it's I have a lady justice in my brain or something, where I feel like I need to even those scales and make sure everything is right. But, you know, I've seen, you know, many things in my life where, you know, the girl comes off as the right one and everything, but she ends up being the wrong one. And, you know, or the male is always the one targeted, but when you really think about it, it's like, well, what got him to that point? Yeah. Did you get him to that point? Or, you know, but again, you know, not discrediting the other side of it. Sometimes, yes, there are some, you know, vile human beings that have had horrible upbringings that, you know, they never changed and they do what they do. And yeah, unfortunately, there have been some, you know, friends of mine, or even just people that I've come across in my time, where, you know, they've endured some shit. Oh yeah. You know, and because of, you know, the you know, the people they've or, you know, men that they've come across that just never heal themselves or never fix themselves, you know. So like, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's just, it's an argument that, like, I love the women's movement. I do, obviously, being female, but at the same time, it's like, we can't make ourselves any better if, I understand that men have really dominated a lot of things and stereotypes and, you know, double standards and all that stuff, but are we any better as, you know, women if we, how do I put this? If we stoop to that level as well, because I'm finding there's a really huge role reversal where females are, yes, taking more of a male energy, and that's amazing and that's great. But then again, there's also the, you know, overdoing of that as well,
yeah,
right?
I've seen a lot of shows and things where they show the empowerment of women and like women doing what you would typically see men doing, and like the subsidiary results of that. And like in society, there are more roles that are played by women that used to be male dominated. Yeah. Right?
I think everybody just needs to realize that equal rights doesn't mean anybody who has anything is going to lose anything. It's not pie. It's not something that actually has physical slices. So, like, and then just think, like, I don't understand why society can't just reach this plane where we all just agree.
Well, that's never going to happen.
Everybody's fucking equal. Like, it's not a hard concept. It's probably the easiest concept to think about. Like,
right now, like, you live in somewhere where you got to pass the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to get to here. So, like, as long as we all working on those same grounds, we good. You know, no one's defiling anybody's rights or anything like that. No one's like, we're just here expressing our opinions of what's going on. And wow, we got a pretty good turnout of what's going on.
I see. Yeah, there we go. Make me have to move now.
Hey, bro, like,
it's okay.
Well, dude, it is what it is. Let me get to
But yeah, you know, and as much as people complain about millennials, you know, don't get me wrong, in many ways, you know, they unfortunately are a product of previous generations, you know, and you know, new technology, etc. You know, us as an older generation, two millennials, unfortunately, we're too taxed to even be able to help them.
We really are.
You know, and to be able to be, you know, that light for them, you know, to make them more independent, this and that. But the one thing I have to say about millennials that I do definitely agree with is the fact that there are so many dated systems that have not been challenged and have not been tested. And that's one thing that I have to say that millennials have done, is that they have challenged those systems and those differences, and they have made huge steps in improving how we live life, what our views are, what it should be, and have proposed more equality with many things, where us as, I don't want to say a passive generation, but maybe it's just we didn't feel like we could, whereas millennials are like, fuck this, something has to change, it has to be better than this.
Well, I guess that's where I relate to millennials.
I sit happily in that between millennial craziness and between baby boomer craziness that we experience in today's society, where baby boomers are, don't change anything, bring everything back, I hate fucking anything that means the way of life changing. And then you have the millennials that are like, everything has to change. Well, not necessarily everything, because if everything changes too quickly, then that other group, the baby boomers and shit, then they get really mad really fast. Social change has to happen slowly. So, like you were saying, where everybody, if you pick a cause, you'd find, you know, like all these millennial groups, like, I love what y'all doing. Get together on one cause, get that one changed, then maybe wait a year or two, let people adjust to that shit, then find another one, get that one to change. Because otherwise, like, I don't know, I go on the internet, and it seems like people are just going to start shooting each other over the dumbest shit soon. Like, every day, and especially you look at it in the States, like, people are literally threatening, like, you go online and they talk about a second civil war over, like, people's rights. Like, I don't want those people to have the same rights as me, and I'm gonna shoot them because of it. That's a fucked up place to hit in society.
Yeah, that's definitely where psychology
but the only reason why we're there is because right now we're seeing a very big swing to the left culturally. Huge swing. Everybody is starting to make their progress. You've got gay rights all over, and that scares the older generation like a motherfucker, especially the religious right. You've got the immigrants' rights movement, which scares fucking everybody on the right. They all feel threatened like a motherfucker. I don't get it. Because a lot of, like, you gotta think, those people were running away from that violence and shit. And they're to get into Canada is one of the hardest, we're harder than the States to get into. It's almost
I wouldn't know, I was born here.
It is almost a 2-year process.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It can take certain families up to 2 years. My family sponsored a family back in the day, and it was by far the hardest. And the father had to keep going back to, they were from Lebanon. Okay. He had to keep going back, and this is back when fucking Hussein was being a little dick over there, right?
Okay.
And he had to keep going back because the process was so hard, and because he worked as like an oil driver or something like that. He worked in the oil fields. Yeah. So like they really were checking his ass. He came over here. He lived a happy fucking life. You know, he was a good fucking dude. Okay. That's the kind of people that are trying to get here, man. And
like I
I'm
said,
not. I know you're not.
okay, as long as it comes to, because like apparently like I don't think people should listen to music that is supposed to be listened to by those people.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And yeah,
Shut up. That's literally what you said.
I'm just saying, like, no.
You're like, that's an odd combination.
Yeah, because there's other music that you can
no,
listen to by the same cultural sect.
I think,
and then it goes back.
but what you said, and you did say, you said, is, you know, why did he have to be listening to it out loud? He could have had it in his headphones. You weren't saying no. In a way, I can understand where you thought he was. You meant that he was stifling. But
I get where he's coming from.
Yeah, no, I totally,
I
I
can listen
understand.
to any motherfucking music I choose to.
But I do agree. I think in some situations, yes, you have to have more consideration.
That's basically
people shouldn't listen to like Lil Yachty and shit. Like if you listen to Lil Yachty, I'm gonna judge the shit out of you. You listen to like
I know who that is, but
any
I don't
of those
know what
like
his
weird
music.
fucking dudes.
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
And shit, and I'm gonna judge the shit out of you.
I don't like a lot of
Nobody's
the new
listening
rap.
to that. If you listen to Kanye West, I'm
now.
gonna just think you're special in the head.
I mean, y'all
You know what? I
can't
have
be
to say,
regular
I like
on
Kanye.
Yeah, y'all can't be turning
That
into
man
Kanye
had a
like that.
full-on mental breakdown in front of the world, and didn't nobody get him no help.
Yeah, and
Y'all
came
gotta
back better
reach
than ever.
If y'all see somebody going through some shit like that, like y'all gotta hug your mans and give him some pills and shit.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to that.
not
To
healthy.
be honest,
No, he's not mentally healthy. I don't know.
Well,
It's weird.
how do you handle your mental health at that point in life where you can't go anywhere without somebody knowing who you are and what you've done
He did
and
it
where
to
you're
himself,
going?
though.
Well, exactly.
See that right there is why I hate the idea of fame.
Well,
Like I don't care if I make money on music, but I want to be able to just go home and just watch TV, not have cameras and shit, ever.
well,
yeah.
But I don't know. I think he makes horrible music.
there are millions, tens of millions that disagree with you.
That's cool.
I just letting you know that
There are tens of millions that agree with me.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand because I mean, I had a love-hate with him, but now like just seeing him outside of the box of everything, I mean, just think of how much he's actually done for music.
Yeah.
And just even, oh my god, shit, look what he did to Kim Kardashian. He cleaned her right up.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know. I just, again,
I don't know nothing about that.
No, and it's fine. Like, I mean, I get your perspective. I totally do. I don't know. I myself, as controversial as he is, I personally see him as a visionary. I do. He joked about having, not even joke, but he had the idea of having leather jogging pants. And I'll be honest, I was like, what the fuck? But when I saw them, I was like, I need them. I love them. They were great.
I think
they were
his clothing
awesome.
line looks like the bin at Goodwill of stuff that other people picked up, and then they decided on their way out, nah, not this one, and they just dropped it there, and then the guy's got to go and put all the shit back. When I see his clothing line, that's what I think.
I mean, some pieces. I haven't actually looked at his full clothing line, but I'll be honest, like the whole leather jogging pants, I was like, what the hell? But then everybody jumped on it. And they sold. They were popular.
You make the
for
market for it, and then you can sell it. That's basically what it is now. And
yeah,
people have, oh my gosh, people are paying so much money for that stuff.
See, that's just the problem with the world today. If people wouldn't put money into that and put money into maybe, I don't know, feeding homeless people, that'd be great.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's more
no
better
leather
reasons
pants.
where money
You
can
don't
go.
I'd love to say that I've always put my money in the best place, but I can't.
Yeah,
You
no, I know
just
I
saw me
haven't.
smoke a blunt, drink a beer.
Nothing wrong with smoking weed.
I'm not saying there is, except for that
It's the
cop.
best place. It's the best place to put your money.
But not like on a serious tip though. Like if we as people can get together and party, we should be able to get together and plan.
Yeah, now we're going full circle with this
Yeah,
again.
we are.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
and you know what? I agree. Unfortunately, now I feel like as a society, as selfless as we are, we're becoming more selfish because everyone's trying to get their 100%. You know, again, and stepping on other people's heads to get there without the gratitude.
Plus, we live in a world now where everybody, I kind of call it like the Google generation. You expect like instant result.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't get an
Yeah.
instant result in something,
Yeah.
and in your mind you're just like, well, what the fuck?
Well, it's
I'm
very,
bad
it's
for
very
that with
unrealistic.
messages. Oh my gosh! I'll
Bro,
send a
I-
message and it's just like, okay.
Like, I work on the road.
Yeah.
I drive for a living.
Yeah.
So like I ignore my shit all day, and sometimes like I'm that guy who I'll like, see it because I might like be at a chance where I can just kind of quickly, okay, but I don't respond. And sometimes people are just like, oh well, fuck you then, and I'm just
Yeah.
like there'll be like 8 messages. I'm just like,
I'll be honest, there have been times though where I have literally read my message that I get, respond in my head, and then forget, and then go back to sleep or like do something else.
I've done that too. I've left like I'm sure people have saw those little dots
Yeah.
underneath my name for
Yep.
fucking hours.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
that to me recently, you jerk.
Did I?
I'm sitting there waiting because I asked him, if, like, I think it was something about the hard line or something, and I'm waiting. I see the dots. I'm like, okay, he's gonna answer now. All right.
Yeah, it's like you're just waiting. Yep, the
All
worst.
right. He ain't answering. Put it down. Okay. Here, a message. It's a message from one of the other groups that I'm in. Pop it open. Nope. Still there though. Those dots.
Yeah.
All right.
He's
Get
telling me a
this.
motherfucking story.
You know what I mean?
You know what happened there? I probably opened it up and saw like I accidentally pressed Q before I closed it.
Oh man. No.
I do that all the time. I'm just like open it up. I'm just like, oh shit! There's been like just 2 random letters that I accidentally pressed the whole time of that message. That person's probably just like, this guy's
man.
writing his entire life story up. Meanwhile, my response ends up being K.
Oh, the worst. I hate when that happens. Oh, that is the worst.
You might as well tell me fuck off if you're gonna write K. Like it's one of those most like
I use
chalant statements.
I use
Yeah.
K all
K.
the time.
Okay.
I use K all the time.
Oh man.
I don't see it as I'm just like K. I don't know.
Like, I understand it's the confirmation of what you sent, but, like, it's just annoying just getting, you write a blurb and then use just, like, one letter. Okay. Or a K.
Yeah.
I heard it's funny. They actually did studies. They said that actually just putting 2 Ks is less insulting. I forget where I saw that.
Yeah, I can understand that. Actually, I see that because it's less infuriating because it's like, KK, I got you.
Yeah, like it was
Yeah.
somebody said, like I forget where was it I saw it, but it was like there was something done where it's just like K is like considered rude, and KK is like the acceptable way of like.
We all know KKK is
I was
very
just about to say, you don't want to hit that 3rd K because like you know that'll be a
Yeah.
problem.
Very big
Bro,
problem.
I actually did that the
Yes.
one time that my buddy was like, "Yo, I'm coming out." And I'm just like, "All right, KKK," and I walk out and I'm just like, "Oh, that's fucking. I shouldn't have done that."
Yeah, no.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. Wow. Okay, so
Speaking
now
of
we know.
society getting together and fixing fucking problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of every racist. You see that? Great.
Kick him in the shins.
But you have to be able to,
It is never wrong to
identify
punch a
him as a
Nazi.
racist. No, I can't argue with that.
Never wrong to punch a Nazi.
It's never wrong to punch anybody that deserves a good punch. To just put them in their place. But again, it doesn't always have to be physical. It can be verbally. It
Yeah.
can be through other ways.
No. I think when it comes to Nazis, we just gotta punch them.
I know this guy. Okay, and we'll talk about verbally, right?
Sure.
I know this guy, and I won't mention his name because he's not worth the promo.
I know exactly who the hell you talking about.
Either way, this
I don't know
individual
any of those
decided.
people other than you guys, so I have no idea.
This individual decided. Okay, let's go back before that. The NMA's Naga Music Awards Association was looking for suggestions for judges for the music submissions that they got. I suggested one artist, and then this individual said basically that the Naga Music Awards Association would be stupid for using this guy because he would cost too much. I got a screenshot of that, and I messaged the potential judge in question, and said basically, people have a misconception of your person. They think that the money's more important than the music, right? So then he asked me to tag him in the post. I tag him in the post, and not to create drama, but to resolve it.
Well, sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you have person A talking about person C, and like person B sees it, you gotta do what you can
to
remedy and let people defend themselves. So, brought it to his attention. He basically said he would be willing to do the job and he's negotiable, and called the individual a bird, basically. And I'm just like, okay, well then, I was deleted from Facebook.
by the original person.
By the original person.
Well,
so
then, honestly, they did you a favor.
You know what I mean? I was just like, alright, cool.
Case.
But, like...
Again, we live in a world where that's considered an insult. Deletion off it. Yeah. Saying, I don't want to see what you do every day of your life is now considered an insult.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care what you do.
Exactly. That I'm laughing at the situation because I'm just like, okay, like, you said one thing and I proved you wrong.
Yeah.
He went and he deleted every single comment that he made because we had a good exchange before.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then, don't I see him at one of the events that I'm performing at?
Sure, of course.
Doesn't he and his manager boo me?
They booed you?
They booed me.
Well, obviously, you know where that's coming from, maturity, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, yes. I'm like, okay, because you have to hear me to boo me. You know what I mean? You can't just, you got to know when I'm finished. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I just kind of laughed at the situation and said, yo.
Well, or you can just put a positive spin on it. Maybe they were calling you their boo.
I said it was funny that they were booing me because when they saw that I was there, they went paler than a ghost.
Well, I'm sure they obviously weren't expecting it, but
no.
Yeah, I mean, but that obviously says a lot about that person, right? Yeah. And it's unfortunate that maybe on their end it seemed deceitful, but technically, like for what you did, but what more than likely. Well, I know your intent. You knew your intent. You wanted to quash it. It wasn't like you were trying to cause drama and make this guy look bad. It's like, well, hey, like, are you just assuming that he's gonna be this way, or is this actual fact?
No, like when I spoke.
No, I meant like what that. About that artist.
He was just assuming. He was like, he said I've worked with them before, and he went on some little Ray Tay Tay rant. And it's just like, nah, G, like, come on now, like, let's get serious.
Right.
It's just.
Right. So again, this is where text gets misconstrued. And I can tell you right now, had this happened in person, and the conversation was vocally spoken, that wouldn't have happened. And I bet it would have just all been resolved. You probably still have this person on your Facebook. But again, like I said, if they're going to react that way, you don't really want them around you at all in the first place.
You're right. You're very right.
I've heard this story several times. You kind of tend to tell.
No, she's due.
I know.
I don't know. And you know what? And of course, there is two sides to every story. There absolutely.
I just want to have my input on this.
Okay.
It was absolutely nothing wrong with you doing what you did. You promoted an artist that you thought was capable of performing a role. Somebody else said something that you thought was out of turn. You then let this artist know that happened. And then dude got butthurt. You did nothing wrong in this.
I don't think you did either. I mean, maybe
the fact that he was willing to say this to you, but didn't want the person that he was talking about to know it was what was being said, speaks more to his character than anything.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, the only thing differently that you probably could have done that may have, squashed this is you just vocally saying it as opposed to saying it in text. Because sometimes people always assume the worst with text. But again, like I said, obviously it happened the way it did for a reason. And it was for you to see the true colors of this person who clearly just didn't know how to handle the situation being called out. When he could have just said, you know what? I was wrong. But who's really going to admit when they're wrong? Not a lot of people do.
Oh, well, you're looking at one person. I even with the office of the premier,
it never happens you don't even have to go to the office of the premier, bro. Don't stop doing that. In the hip hop culture.
No, the hip hop culture?
Nobody admits it wrong, man.
No,
when was the last time you heard a song? Akon's the last motherfucker who did a song, I'm Sorry.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And then he apologized for some real shit that kind of he had to apologize.
He did, yeah.
But and nobody's ever been like, yeah, I'm sorry for that shit that I did.
Maybe that would change some shit if we did do that.
I kind of did, I guess.
Honestly,
on the Haunted Dreams,
it would.
Yeah, you did. So, like, you're sitting here contradicting yourself. That's not like you.
But here's one thing that I will say about the hip hop culture, and I learned this from there's this dope ass artist that I listen to. His name's Kalichi.
Okay.
And he's the one who got me to realize that there was actually a market for, like, that almost that recovery music.
Yeah.
Like the been there, done that, because our generation's old, bro. Like we're the generation
40.
that fucked up the world and are looking at it. No, when it comes to drugs, yes. When it comes to drugs, we are
talking about
100%
like
the generation
planet
that
and shit
fucked
like
up
that.
the world.
Okay, yeah.
I think everybody collectively did that, like throughout the years and the centuries.
But like when it comes to like the drug epidemics and shit, it was our generation selling it to each other in high school, and then in our early 20s, and then it was our generation that rehabbed up. Half of us got sober, half of us are still fucked. So now there's a market for that sound, that story. There's people who are actually going through that. Whereas back in the day, nobody wanted to hear about sobriety. Fuck that. It's fun getting fucked up.
Yeah, even today, people don't want to hear about sobriety.
That's why I'm saying, like, go listen to this dude Kalichi, bro. Like, he's the one who, like,
I have a song called Base Beers.
I don't know.
Like
that kind of music needs to be heard more. The fact that it's okay to tell your story like that. It's okay to not fucking party off the fucking pills and the fucking dope and shit.
So you mean there's someone doing what I've been doing?
Listen, motherfucker.
Listen, we are Candid Conversations. We have Laurie here with us as well as Interf. You know what I mean? We've been talking, ladies and gentlemen, for like 2 hours, and like,
oh my God, is it already? Wow.
Yeah, we got. It'll tell me when we get to 3, but basically, as it is, we just brought to you some of what's been happening with we. Oh man.
You good?
I'm good. I feel like my eyes are a little slanted.
A little bit, but you're still awake.
Yeah, buddy. That's that espresso. That's that espresso.
And I like that you say espresso and not espresso, which is wrong.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just got that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. All right. So everybody's had they time and they conversation. They piece has been said. What did he say? Damn, y'all too high to interact with who? With viewers? LMAO. No, we're not. We're just waiting for viewers to
I'm
say
good.
I'm
not high.
We have a moderator here today, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm very well
Who
sober
said
and
that?
functioning.
Ethics Cox.
Oh, what's good?
Like, I'm sorry, you lost me at Cox, bro.
I'm being nice to the viewers, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said what I said. I have free range to do that. I always got to be the good cop. Why do I got to be the good guy all the time? Like, you don't think I got some negative in me that I want to let out and shit?
He said a comment too earlier. I read it on there because I went on and it said that the thumbs up was like the rudest response when you're like had like a huge ass conversation.
Yeah,
Just
that
giving,
yeah.
like, the,
I agree. But sometimes like there really doesn't need to be more. There isn't more that needs to be said.
Yeah.
But I
that in
get
real
it.
life,
Like,
though, like you're just talking to somebody and they're just
it is a slap in the face. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no. Now that you put it that way,
No,
that's
but it's true. Like it really is slap in the face.
Like just open it, and
Yeah.
just like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And that, like, I even stopped with my whole my what's it called? I used to customize birthdays, like phrases. Like I was like Hallmark and shit. Like it was your birthday, you were getting like 4 bars of some ill happy birthday oriented shit. And like for a little bit it didn't even catch on, and then like it's just got the THX. THX, what the fuck? Are you testing your sound right now? Are you telling me?
Oh my God.
You can't say thank you? We can't start a conversation off of this shit? Wait a minute.
You know, okay, so this reminds me of, you know, people on Facebook, and this is very, very minute, and it's going to be kind of stupid, but, you know, there's the people that do a general thank you for their birthday greetings.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just impossible. They can't thank everybody.
Oh, no.
But,
I did this year, yes.
Yeah, like, myself, honestly, anybody that wishes me happy birthday, I thought about just doing the general message, and I was like, no, like, people have literally taken their time out of their day to wish me a happy birthday. I'm going to say something back. You know, again,
yeah,
like...
that's the least one can do, and it's understandable that people are busy, and, like, you know...
and I get it, and that's, yeah.
At least the general, like, if I don't get a direct... At least the general, you know what I mean, is like, okay, cool.
Well, but
like,
still.
you acknowledge it, but still, it's just like, nah, some people, like, I'm sorry, if you take the time to write, like, a hope you have a blessed day or something like that, I'm going to respond back as something you can respond with, and then, you know, that's how we can continue a conversation. Or
right.
whatever.
But what if the person's just, like, it's their birthday, but if they just don't got time for a fucking conversation? Like,
I mean,
for
there's
instance,
that
like,
too. But
you know, on
still.
a birthday, like, you could be out with your friends just absolutely shit faced. You could be having some time with your wife.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
you're talking to a dude who threw an event on his anniversary.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, you could be sitting there and you're just like, you know, oh, fucking so and so said happy birthday, and then all of a sudden, fucking the music cranks up, and you know what's about to happen. You're just like, okay, you know, like.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you don't gotta always take it personally when people don't respond.
No, I don't. I'm just putting out, like...
And you don't always have to feel... I don't think you should always have to feel the need to engage in conversation.
See, that's what I gotta work on.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I agree with that.
That's
because
what I gotta work on right there.
You know,
every motherfucker's getting waved at when I walk down the street. If we in New York, my arm is breaking. Sorry.
Bro, I go up north, man, and it drives me nuts, man. I'll be on the back of the boat, and everybody's just waving at me. I'm just like... You know, I'm like trolling. So I'm like trying to fish, and I'm like, man, fuck off, fish on, man. Like,
fuck off, fish on.
Up north, everybody waves up north. It's a thing. It's
man.
like once you pass like Barrie, you just start
yeah,
waving
it's very
at people.
True.
Just like I don't know why. I just feel, and you're on like the highway, so you're just like driving, like your arms smacking yourself in the face with the window open.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like I was walking on the canal path the other day. Everyone that walked by me were always like, "Hi, how are you? You know, how's it going?" And it's like, "Yep." I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's nice. It's a camaraderie, right? It's nice, but no. But I get what you're saying. It's like I took this time to create 4 bars of verse for you for your birthday, and all you have to say is thanks. Like, but again, but you know. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe in that regard, they were busy and couldn't respond.
Yeah.
And maybe when they see you in person, because they thought, "Oh my God, that's so amazing!" I'll, you know, when I get a chance, when I see them in person, because they know they're going to see you. Let's say tomorrow, then they'll be like, "Yeah, that was like amazing! I can't believe you did that for me." Because I know there's sometimes where I at least want to acknowledge something. Maybe a little bit more than thanks. Yes, would be sufficient, but. I'm kind of rambling right now, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's again. I say this for perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I like. So
now
celebrating.
I learned that if I ever want to, like, piss off Block, just when he messages me, just
put a thumbs up.
You know what? I'm not writing "Happy Birthday" in chalk on your front lawn, on your front sidewalk. Forget you.
Fine. I would just look at you and be like.
Just draw it in chalk right beside it.
Yeah, I just draw you a thumbs up.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. The green, what is that?
This is...
That means somebody has joined the live.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Popping in and out.
Huh.
This is Ellie? Yeah, Ellie. South Rica. I don't know who Ellie is. Oh, well. We are still live on Candid Conversations. See, I haven't mixed it up with any of my other podcasts yet. Watch out now.
Good night for you.
Yeah, it's man. Okay. I'm telling you, everything's coming up block. All right, well, we do have a few other podcasts that we do weekly, and the next one is going to be Hardline with Interp and the Block this Friday at 6 p.m. We also have the Tyrell Effect at 12 p.m. on Saturdays. We got Tough Talks with Tilly and the Block in the evenings on Sundays. A time is yet to be determined. But and then we have this show, Candid Conversations, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. So tune in to get our views on what you might be doing if you type into us. Go ahead.
Candid Conversation sounds very intimate.
Yes.
It's like I just feel like I'm all nestled up with my coffee and leg warmers and basic bitch attire.
Candid camera.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think of it
You're
until
on Candid camera.
yeah. Oh, HBD gets you deleted apparently by Jenny.
What?
Oh, HBD
for happy birthday.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. What do you mean HBD? Like what? Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I generally don't even wish people happy birthdays. Like unless it's like face to face or somebody I see every like couple days. There's
some people I see. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna wish you a happy birthday because whatever. And then there's some times where I miss birthday. I see that it's people's birthdays and it's like, it's this person and 8 other people's birthdays.
Well,
I don't want to write 8 happy birthdays.
That's just it. I'm like, I don't want to be writing like, what is? I gotta write happy birthday to everybody now. It's like, and Facebook's even reminding you this shit. You wake up in the morning, it's like, by the way, here's 2 motherfuckers you're gonna disappoint today if you don't write happy birthday.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, hold on a second. A lot of
pressure, Facebook. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Let me get my coffee before you make me disappoint people today.
And you're not even gonna put my songs in the ears of the people who want to listen to it, and then you want me to say happy birthday to people so you get more. Listen, I'm not getting sucked.
So what we gotta do, we gotta make our own version of a happy birthday song and then start sending that out on birthdays.
Bank on it, yo.
Yeah.
Bank on it. Oh, Lee.
You gotta try not to swear in that one.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you, mother beep.
You know what happened, right? They go through the entire song and do it, and then in the dubs they'll be like, happy birthday, motherfuckers! They walk into the booth and be like, shit, I did it again, didn't I?
You won! It's so true. Oh, man. So that's what's up. We here, you know what I mean? Just living our lives, doing what we do, having conversations, and putting them in your view. Hopefully you've picked up something that was new that you can learn from, and, most of what we said, if not all of it, was true.
That rhymed.
Shit, he's
That was
rhyming
good. I know.
Yeah.
This ain't the
really
hip-hop
good.
show, Block.
Oh, right. What can I say? It's one of those things. I'm waiting for someone to want to battle me on the live or something. You know what I mean?
Me and you should have a live battle on one show.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, eh?
I'm down.
Oh man. Freestyle
If
or
you want to
written?
see me disgustingly body Block on his own show.
Oh my gosh. It's with Interp and the Block. I gave you the show, but it's okay. It's alright. It's okay. It's all good. This guy's not gonna bite the hand that fed him. He's gonna rip it off from the shoulder blade and fucking start chewing on the fucking scalpula.
I'll put it back out.
What was that like again?
Oh my gosh.
I'll put the arm back on afterwards.
Oh yeah.
I'll hip will cover it.
Oh, hip will cover it, he says. Okay.
I'll rush it.
Oh man.
It's amazing what OHIP will cover now. Honestly,
really?
some of the things OHIP does actually cover.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so thankful that we live where we do.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
My
I
kids
have
can
to
get
say.
sick of shit, and I don't have to worry about it bankrupting me.
Yeah, it reminds me of something that Jim Carrey said. And he said, the reason why people in Canada are happy is because we have good health care. He's like, in the States, they don't have good health care.
We can afford to be happy.
Right, we can afford good health care. That's what it is. He's like, in the States, because they don't have what we have, a lot of people are sick, and so they're unhappy.
It's so weird, too. I actually read a post today, and it was like, holy fuck, that's, like, so right. But, like, we live in a world where a vast majority of the the advanced countries, they have, like, social health care, social everything, right? Like, up to par, schools, correct gun control, all this shit. Yet somehow the American public has been convinced that as the richest country in the world, they can't afford it.
Yeah, they're the poorest country in other ways.
They've convinced them. They've convinced the people. Like there's a large fraction, like a large chunk of those people that are convinced that if we give people social health care, it will bankrupt the country. if we give people these things, it will cause huge problems. Meanwhile, every other fucking civilized country has that shit.
Yeah.
Like, think about the mind games they played on the public for years there, man.
Bro,
Yeah.
could only imagine the things that they have to go through in order to get,
I couldn't
like,
imagine having
what
to fucking...
we at
Yeah.
times take for granted.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having to carry a gun to go to Walmart just to feel
Yeah.
safe. Or feeling the need to show off the fact that I do carry a gun. Like, just to kind of, you know, to quote the fucking song by Green Tree, Big Dick Energy. You know,
they made a song called Big Dick Energy.
Oh,
They sang it.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
a
Don't
dope
worry.
Y'all gonna hear it tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry. Y'all gonna hear it either Friday or Saturday on one of the two podcasts.
But no, like, I don't know, man. The way that the fucking people live over there is fucked. And they there's a certain portion of them that choose to. And like, that's kind of where you see more like what I was talking about, that millennial versus boomer war going on.
Yeah.
And like you were talking about with the cultural change, like that swing is happening so hard over there right now.
Yeah.
And it's really exposing a lot of like what years and years of capitalist propaganda can do to a public.
Yeah.
They've sold their souls to corporations. Honestly, big
Yeah.
oil owns the government. Big pharma owns the government.
Yeah.
It's all, they've basically legalized bribery for politicians with donations.
Well, the thing is, if the people, again, I say, if enough people, I know from what I've done as an individual,
Here,
that
hold on, sorry,
change
before,
is
when you say
possible.
the people, I just want to make one more point before I forget about it. The American culture is so dangerous right now that you can't even say let's rise up as a people, because half those people will think militant.
Yep.
So you cannot use the words rise up as people, because yes, you'll have half the people or a third of the people that will rise up with signs and chants and songs and movements and powerful shit.
And those are the people you appeal to.
And those are the people you want. But then the second that happens, you have the other side that feels threatened. And they're the ones, like, for some reason they think that guns are an extension of who they are, and everybody on this side wants to take every gun. And they think that is why they have guns, is to kill people when people try to take their guns. It's a really weird fucking way of thinking.
Yeah, that's twisted logic
But
for sure.
their logic is, I need my gun for the day that I need to become a criminal.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what it is. The day that I need to shoot the government is the day that I need my gun for.
This is why I have a problem going to the States.
Bro, it's a fucked up culture. Like, I keep saying, oh, I need my gun for when you arrive. Tyrannical government on. And I'm looking around thinking, like, y'all motherfuckers live in, like, the richest country in the world. Tyranny's not really an issue.
Tyranny.
Y'all just
Sorry,
saying,
had to
I
say it
need
like
this
that.
gun so I can become a criminal with it one day.
Like, I hear what you're saying. I
Powder
just
keg, man. So you can't say people rise up, because when those people rise up,
What about people unite?
Walmarts get shot up, fucking bombs get blown up. Look at Timothy McVeigh.
You good?
That sounds more like a you problem than a me problem, bro.
What? Hey, just throwing it out there, man. Y'all white dudes out there, we gotta start taking responsibility and apologizing for these acts, because we expect every other race to do it. So I gotta formally apologize on behalf of all white people for the dumbass, crazy white people doing stupid white people shit.
I can take it upon myself to apologize on behalf of, on behalf of my culture for some of the craziness they're doing. I can't say everything, because some of that shit just isn't even in my league. Like, I'm sorry, like, I ain't owning pissing on no one. Fuck that shit. Pissing is for the toilet reserved. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, let's not confuse the man and the music.
Drip, drip, drip.
I know!
Let's not confuse the man and the music,
Man,
though.
so many, like, teenage nights just gone because of that shit.
Yo, man, I'm telling you.
That is one of the biggest disappointments, I have to say.
Yeah, I just...
My
when
main reason why I started rapping was the song "Did You Ever Think That You Could Be This Rich" by Nas and R. Kelly.
Oh,
That's
that
it. And-
track is...
Bro,
yeah, that
like,
track...
to me, that track was like the first time my buddy showed me that track, I was just like,
That is a
yo,
good
that's
song.
music right there.
Yo, the track is fucking fire. I will. Yo, you're lucky I have enough time to look it up right now and play it, but I'm not even gonna because we. Yo, listen, man.
Honestly,
I will turn up in this bitch right now. You know what I mean?
If I find that song, I'll play it and I'll try to fucking videotape it for you.
Oh my gosh!
But no, that song right there, man. And then I don't know, a lot of his music.
Yeah, and
it honestly is a shame.
It was like it's the perfect date music.
How the fuck do you think I feel, bro? I actually drive a Jeep.
But like between R. Kelly and Usher, I was like the teenage years.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like when it came to like the slow jam shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
You actually brought up a good point that reminded me of something. I don't know if you guys saw Dave Chappelle, one of his Netflix specials, not the most recent one, but it was the one that he did just before this one. He was talking about a lot of things in terms of politics and what's right and wrong or whatever, and he was talking about the football player Colin Kaepernick.
Okay, Kaepernick,
yeah, and how he basically got punished for standing up for what he believed in, and he said, which I totally agree with. It's like we are basically getting taught that the right thing is the wrong thing to do, which is so sad. Like, you know,
it's like even perfect example. My daughter got in trouble for defending a child at her school.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
You know what I mean?
Going back,
but then they gave her an award for doing the right thing.
I just want to go with his actual this Kaepernick thing.
Okay.
Like that at its core, is it's weird. It's people are putting basically a magic sky cloth and worshiping that over the actual movement, and they also connect it weirdly to the military, even though he was told by former military to kneel. If you're going to protest, kneel, right? Like, that's what he was told by military members. Just throwing it out there if anybody listens that hates Kaepernick. So he's basically being punished for doing what the military told him to do to spread social change. That is fucked up. That
is not cool. Yeah.
He kneeled on the direction of the military.
The first time he did it, he just sat at the bench. He didn't get up. He didn't move, and people were like, "What the fuck?" And he went to I can't remember if somebody from the military connected to him, or it was like a friend of his that had served. But they said, "Listen, like, if you want to do it respectfully, kneel. That's the respectful way to do it." So that's what he did. And people still think he's attacking the military. They're basically using him as a scapegoat. In a way to like.
There's a wicked thunderstorm right now.
You know what it is? I think it's to put fear into the people so that they can't and won't stand up for what they believe in.
Obvious. That's
what they're trying to do.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. That's part of the reason why the basement is where I seek my refuge. You know what I mean? Wow. It's like I can't, in some places, conduct myself as freely as I do within the boundary of my house,
right? As
I can in public, without some judgment that is misconstrued.
Right.
It's like if I'm a loud person by nature, so if I'm out there, and I remember there was one time I was on the phone, and the person didn't see the phone, it was on my earpiece, and I'm on the phone, and I'm walking with Jenny, and I'm just at the person on the phone, and they thought I was yelling at my wife. I was just like, and then the police came up, and I'm just like, okay. They started talking to me. I'm like, I'm on the phone right now, I'm trying to point, I'm on the phone right now. I don't really have time for you. I guess that was the wrong thing to do.
Probably the wrong thing to do. Yeah.
So Jenny got out of the car. She's like, "What's the problem, officer?" And I'm trying to handle the situation because there were some personal matters that I had to remedy. I did on a time sensitive. In a time-sensitive manner. So, they see that I'm on the phone and they kind of just leave. But someone had called and said that I was yelling at her, and it's just like, okay, come on now. Like,
somebody obviously, yeah.
You gotta know when to mind your business now, society. You know
I'm
what
pretty
I mean?
sure if
Like,
you were yelling at her, Jenny would just put you in your fucking place anyway.
listen, man, why you gotta say that on live though? Why you gotta go into masculine?
Go, Jenny.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, man. She knows how to talk to me. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't
Any woman can
interfere
do
with
that
her.
to her, man. Especially when you got it how you guys do.
Oh man,
just saying.
she's one
It's probably
person I
getting
don't
a look
interfere
at this
with.
point with you guys.
Yo, listen, man, I can hear the inhale. Like, if there's a certain way that she inhales that I have caught, and I just like, okay, this is when
You just do something, all you hear is...
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's something like that, some shit like that. I'm just like, wait a minute.
It's
Hold
the
on. Yeah.
it's the breath after fine.
Yeah.
Like, why you gotta breathe so deep?
The
for?
death breath.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it's called. It's a thing. It's called a thing. You know this thing?
Oh,
Okay,
I don't know. I'm just calling it something now. But honestly, it's the death breath of disappointed, dissatisfied women.
That's what it is. I know that. I've heard that too.
I've done it way too many times.
Just listen. It's like, and I catch on and I'm just like, okay, the next action I'm going to do is going to give me that gasp of joy breath. I swear.
Yes. Oh, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
But going back to what we were talking about before, it's unfortunate that your daughter went through that, standing up for something that was right.
Yep.
And again, so what does that teach her? That teaches her, and it's going to be her plus all the other ones that get taught this exact same thing, that standing up for what's right and what's supposed to be good is wrong, and that you can't defend yourself and that you can't stand up for yourself. And I can attest to that for myself, because that's also what kind of screwed with me for years, because I used to try to stand up for what I believed in, and I always got shot down to the point where I just eventually gave up, and then it in fact started affecting me, to the point, going back to the conversation full circle, when that guy was trying to be helpful to me, except he was passive aggressive to me, and I sat there and I took it, and I didn't even stand up for myself.
You can't do that. Like, let me not sit here and preach what I think you should do, but it's like,
well, sure.
In my situation, I've had people put me down. Like, I've had people tell me I wouldn't get to where I am. I've had people, get in my head where they have affected me in a way, but I now use it as a motivator, because I wrote my 20-year plan in 2007, so 2007. And I am, 2007, so I am 12 years into it. And I am a bit ahead of myself. I'm further ahead of where I thought I would be.
That's great.
By now. And yeah, it's awesome. I have everything that I planned for, except for like a handful of things left on the list that I have set, but it's just, if you set your goals and stay true to yourself, you'll accomplish a lot more than letting people get into your head. And you know what I mean? There's times, obviously, there's times where you gotta let people in, but like giving people control over like your life's choices isn't always beneficial.
Oh, of course not.
Oh, you always have
Absolutely
to have
not.
control of your own life.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I went through a 10-year struggle of, rebuilding myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there was a lot of things I didn't realize that I was doing because of certain things that was programmed into me in my, childhood.
Okay.
So now I'm finding my voice again and standing up for myself and being like, no. But again, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. I still find challenges where I don't feel like I can stand up for myself. But lately, I'm at that point where I'm tired, I'm fed up, and I'm not gonna put up with shit anymore.
That's, you know what, that last one.
Yeah.
Now we just got to work on the energy levels and like the crappy people in society. That's why I do some of these shows, is because I find that when I have an outlet to release my inner thoughts and my frustrations and like the joys that I have to celebrate, you know what I mean, I can function more effectively than bottling it all up and just like, okay, well, this is happening to me and I don't know where to put it. So that's why I give...
Oh, I feel that for sure.
Yeah, that's why I like to have these kinds of conversations, because I learn from other people how to deal with some things that I have yet to go through, or how to deal with things that I'm going through. So, like, you guys are helping me get to evolve to be my
your
better
best
person.
self.
Yeah, my best self. Exactly.
Your best self. We'll say that in a nice radio tone.
Oh man!
Find your best self today with Dave.
Yeah.
And people.
And people, Dave and
Company. Company. That's
that.
That's what I was thinking in my head. Yeah, Dave and Co. Yeah.
Dave and Co. That honestly, that sounds like a good thing to work with. Dave and Co. What can we use that for?
There you go.
Everything.
You know what you can do? Yeah, you can have a new show, Dave and Company,
you
where.
A mixtape, Dave and Co.
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Yeah, copyright. Yeah, now we have a conflict.
I'm a Dave too.
Exactly.
Well, technically, you could put like a D3 or D2 because it's like D squared. There's two. Well, that'd be 4 people. Never mind. But
I know another Dave.
Well, there you go.
Dave and Co. Dave's just doing.
There you go.
Bunch of collabs.
Yeah. And he plays the bass. So, shout out to everybody doing your thing, you know what I mean? Like, shout out to Stick Coalition, shout out Private Music, shout out Troop Gang. We got Green Tree Records doing their thing. Union Gang handling business. Tino, what up? Who else? Stoddy P. Interps here. We got Laurie here. Running.
Dream Man. What's the name of his new shit? It's like 4 words.
Yeah, man. Dream
Big.
Corey
Hayes is fucking shit, man.
Corey Hayes, Running. Yeah, check out Corey Hayes. Check him out on
Head Pop Beats.
Yeah, Head Pop
on
Beats.
YouTube.
I do have a nickname.
Okay. What is it?
Lucky Lolo. You
Lucky Lolo.
You can just call me Lolo.
Lolo. Okay.
It's like you have yours, and it's like, and then there's Laurie. Just like the ending, and then there's Maud.
Whenever I'm introduced people, I never know if they're going to use my government name or my rapper name.
Oh, and it's fine.
I never know when to use my government name or my rapper name. It's like, oh, hi, and you are? Depends on the industry.
Yeah. It's like, wait, where are you? What?
Terp.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who just, like, only know me as Terp.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Keep rocking with that.
Yeah.
But, like, it's weird when, like, friends' moms call me by my rap name. I'm just like,
oh, wow.
Yo, that's kind of
weird.
Okay.
It's like, okay.
But, I mean, obviously, feel free to call me whatever you want.
Lolo works.
Lolo works.
Yeah, my roommates would call me that. It was just easier. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we've had quite the interesting conversation.
Yeah.
This has been the fastest,
2.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even longer.
Yeah. 2 hours and 36 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I think we're going to close it up right now. Oh, you just joined in, Nicole Hall. You missed it. Don't worry about it. When I close up, you can watch it from the beginning. When it uploads. Yeah. So, it is what it is, and it was what it was. We just talking now to start a little buzz.
But you're pretty buzzed yourself right now.
Oh my goodness. If you only knew, and now I got the caffeine just like...
So you're basically calm, but inside you're just buzzing all over the place.
Man, holy. She got it down to a science. See, there we go. See, I said science again. I say science as often as
it's okay.
You're profane.
I'm not that profane.
Not this episode. That one where we were talking. I can't believe... listen, man. I've seen some things happen in the last few weeks. I don't even want to talk about it on camera because we might just leak more information than we want to on some peeps. But let's just say it this way: just make sure you do your research whenever you embark on a challenge, because failing that particular step, you might end up damaged. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. All right. So
Are we calling it a day?
yeah, we're calling it a day.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Woo!
Keep on glistening.
Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.